Oh God, here it comes. Oh, hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot. Mr. Marsh, we apologize, and if it's okay with you, we would like to present you your long overdue trophy.
Mag.
Snake.
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another Saturday night, another Modern Comic Mayhem right here on Beyond Wednesdays. Gonna be a interesting show tonight. Hood found a bunch of good books.
I'm opening packages that I haven't opened in months.
Yee's post birthday boy, and
Oh, yeah.
I am super stoned. And
Mama! Dos!
What?
Dos
Wasn't that-
mamas!
I had to sign that contract with Bryan to make sure that I was always super stoned too. Anytime I was on his channel,
Yep.
like he was just like, "It's like you can't show up on the show unless you're like blazing." And I'm like, "All right, like it's not gonna change anything from my normal routine."
amen, brother.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough of the dots.
Look how clean that is.
These things are fucking addictive, dude. These things
Dots,
are addictive, bro.
Dude,
they're fresh.
crack.
Ooh.
They're fresh. I love it when they're fresh because like it sucks like when you get chewy candy that's been on the shelf for like right at the close to the expiration date and it's like tough and hard. But then like when you get like a batch that's like super fresh, like fresh off the line, it's like nice and gooey, chewy. Like
Hey,
what's that?
hey, check this out. Black Dynamite. Retailer
When's that
incentive.
from? Oh, old school IDW.
Yeah. Black
Nice.
Dynamite. Black.
Not bad, my friend. Did you guys see Daredevil?
Of course.
I saw the first episode. I didn't watch the
Man, fuck, man.
but
We
you can
told you
spoil
to
it.
watch it.
You can spoil it because like at the
No,
same time,
that's
like,
no fun, dude.
No.
We told you to watch it, and you purposely didn't watch it.
Get
I
him,
watched the
Hood.
first
Right,
episode.
That's all right, dude. Whatever.
Here,
Get
I'll
him.
just beat myself and sit here and watch
Start
it.
watching it right now.
And then 45 minutes in, we can start talking about the second episode.
We're going live.
Yeah. It was good. It was fucking really good, dude.
Yeah.
So far.
It's okay. I mean, we got to get it going, you know. Fuck
Well,
it, man.
I tell you what, I
Everybody
did not
wants to see
expect.
somebody's head cut off and shit like that, and then Daredevil fucking the head. Yeah, fuck Netflix. Just is more hardcore. Fuck, I'm gonna fuck this head.
It was pretty crazy to lose what's his name that early, bro.
Yeah,
That was
Foggy.
a crazy way to start off a season.
it just
Yeah.
felt weird. Like they just like threw that together. Like that was one of the like reshoots or whatever. Oh, you just stand there and get shot.
No, remember because they didn't edit anything in the first episode or last episode. It's only in the in between episodes,
According to them.
according to them. Yes, but I mean,
Foggy.
Bro, yeah. The dinner scene between Kingpin and Matt was fucking excellent. How
You
good
knew what
is
they were doing, right?
D'Onofrio, bro? Vincent
Oh,
D'Onofrio
D'Onofrio
is
is awesome, bro.
he's like probably he's up there with the most perfect casting ever made, right? I mean that he is so good as Kingpin.
Hey,
Oh,
bro, I
I know
remember
this.
when I blew your mind when I go, bro, he was Thor in Adventures in Babysitting. And
Yes.
you're all, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great, dude. I love that movie. I watched that movie so many times. I remember
Oh,
even
yeah, dude.
we
Yeah.
would watch that all summer long, dude. That movie. There was a couple movies that we just always watched.
Don't tell
as kids.
mom the babysitter's dead.
That
Oh, yeah.
movie.
That was a
Never
classic.
Ending
Christina
Story.
Applegate, bro. Mama.
Yeah. There's a couple of good ones. Anyways, back to the original thought process. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a great way to start a season. And you just put everybody immediately, you just put everybody in turmoil, right? It starts off
Yeah.
really happy, like with Daredevil and Karen flirting, and you're like, man, this is okay, hell yeah, this is cool. You know, they're all drinking at a bar. Speaking of drinking at a bar, what up, Nate?
Hey,
Did you see
Hey,
Daredevil?
what's up?
hey. Is he frozen already?
He's frozen. He's frozen already.
Wow, dude.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Oh, he's catching up.
Yep. So the so the beginning was pretty good, right? Kind of think everything's going good for him, and all of a sudden, just boom, everybody's in turmoil immediately, right off rip. And fucking Bullseye's a badass.
Yeah.
They made Bullseye a badass, right? Like, you know, he's coming back at some point.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Oh, what about the little teaser with White Tiger?
That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
How he's another vigilante out there.
Yeah.
And then seeing Muse, right? Fucking painting shit. What up, Shane? Good to see you, my brother. It was a really good first episode. Sequential Geek says, let's only talk about CPR flipping variant covers top 10 lists and then say now and then how comic stories should be better, okay? No, that's later in the show, bro. That's later in the show.
It's not in that sequential order either.
No. It's you never know what's gonna happen.
Man, we haven't talked about CPRs in like ages, man.
Is that still a thing? No, I'm just joking.
Hold
Okay.
on, this is crazy. Is this true? Nova J says Matthew Millard is hired for a role in season 2, and Foggy is back in season 2, so I bet he fakes his death. Couldn't they just be flashback scenes? You know,
Yeah.
Lillard, Matthew Lillard. Is it Matthew?
Why would you
Lillard?
want to have a flashback scene with Foggy? Wouldn't you want to forget like all the shit in the past with Foggy? Right? Like, please, no. He gets tortured with flashback scenes. Kingpin, I'm going to show you a flashback scene with you and Foggy. No! Why?
Nate, you're on mute, dude.
Dude, I love the
I have to be when Joe
wife,
starts
bro.
doing his impersonations.
I know,
I,
right?
I love the Kingpin's wife, bro.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's
she's
Did
a
she look
broker,
better
bro.
this season? I swear, I think she looks better than she did in the old ones.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
came out of her shell like fucking Adrian from Rocky, dude. You know?
Yeah,
How
man.
funny was it when she had the meeting and I looked around at the art and all of a sudden, are they in a storage unit?
Yeah,
When they lift up the cage?
yeah. So tell me, I'm a little lost. Where was Kingpin? Was he in jail? Is that where he was? Right? And he hadn't talked to her
Yeah.
since he's been in
So
jail.
that's how I interpret it. Which I think is actually really cool if you think about like season 3 ending, and it's been what 7 years or whatever the timeline is.
Yeah.
So he was basically in jail almost.
Oh, he froze again.
whole time, gets out, incorporate that in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh,
at the
yeah,
same
he was
time,
shot
like,
by Echo.
wait,
That's right.
they mentioned Echo, and then
That's right. He was shot by
like,
Echo. Shout out to
Yeah.
Matt and Cover Price Boys. Yeah, Left for Dead. Because I remember him saying, was it Matt that kind of gave him a little poke? You know?
because he was like, "Oh, I had a mentor," and then Matt was like, he was like, "Oh, you mean the one that shot you in the face or whatever?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That was it. That's exactly it. It was fucking good, dude. It was really
Oh, is
good.
that a spoiler? Or should we have warned people that we were doing spoilers?
Nah, man. Fuck that. You should have already seen it.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. You know what game this is? We talk about
Fuck
this
it.
shit.
Don't spoil it for me. I want to see it next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna wait till June to watch all the Daredevil in one shot, and now you fucking ruined it, man.
Oh man, there's books I definitely don't remember ordering, but I'm like, oh shit, I ordered this.
I hate that shit, dude. I was like,
What do you
But most
think
of the-
about?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Punisher shit?
I mean, we'll see.
Just not a whole bunch to it yet, right?
What's that?
Just really, there's not a whole bunch to go off of
There's
yet.
not
but,
yet, but did you
I mean,
guys see? Did you guys see the trailer for the next episode?
No, I did not. Oh boy.
I was raised to believe in grace, but I was also raised to believe in retribution.
So supposedly he's supposed to show up in this episode and be a big part of it. So we'll see.
I love the guy. You know, I liked him in Walking Dead, but he's a perfect Punisher. I mean, he's great. I read where
casting, right?
Yeah, I read where he had actually gotten his nose broken, like in real life. Like, you know, I guess once you do it once, it's easy to do. But I think it was like 11 or 12 times. Like, it was so many times. I'm like, he just comes across with the attitude that you expect Frank Castle to have.
Hey, bro, you see the new trailer for Andor?
Andor?
Bro,
Yeah.
did you hear the Emperor Palpatine's voiceover?
What? Hold on. I didn't
No.
hear that.
Give it to me, Joe. What does it sound like? What does he sound like?
Oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive. Biatch.
Which one? Which one? The one that just came out
Yeah,
today?
today.
All right. We're stoned and we're taking a quick left.
Is that it?
Is this it? No, that's not it.
Hey, I just want to shout out to Aaron Yee. Hadn't seen this guy in a long time. He looks the same.
Yeah, he
I
does.
know, right?
All right, here we go.
I was supposed to make a trip up to the north side this weekend, and I didn't do it.
Okay, here we go.
The weather.
We're in a war. You want to fight?
You want
Or
to
you want to win?
They believe their actions will bring about freedom, but they only sow discord and destruction.
What a swell party this is.
With Ezra Bridger's speech, we had the opportunity to bring the rebel troops together.
Nobody's allowed in here.
If we do not stand together, we will be crushed. Is there no one who can help us?
This is our time.
Bro, this
We will
is
not be
awesome.
silent.
The music in it, everything about this is amazing.
It's going to be so good. I love, too, how you get 4 episodes at a time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice. You can get 4 episodes of it?
Yeah.
You're thinking like a
I'm
thief.
sorry, 3 or 4.
I'm thinking like a soldier. Think like a leader.
I'm thinking like a soldier, Bato.
You're here, you're right here, and you're ready to fight!
The rebellion underestimates the reach of the Empire. They will learn a hard lesson.
We must prepare for the worst. The Empire's time is over. We are nearing to the end.
So I actually did not see that one. So I missed the Emperor's voice when you're talking about that. Man, that's great.
Because you got to think he's got to make it, because they can't use Tarkin, because, right, the family got all bent out of shape or some bullshit. So you got to think, like, Vader's going to come out.
You guys couldn't hear anything? You guys couldn't hear that?
No, we could hear it. I'm sorry. What I was saying was, like, when you're talking about what I saw earlier today was not the same one. So I didn't hear the Emperor's voice in what I watched.
Yes.
Let me see something. Let me hear something.
You want to fight?
Yeah, they should be able to hear that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
You want to
good.
fight?
Yeah, right? Isn't that funny how he says that? You want to fight?
You want to fight? He's got like
You
a
want to
list.
fight?
You want to fight?
Efe,
You want to fight? You want to fight?
Dios mío,
You
el
wanna fight?
diablo.
¿Qué están diciendo?
You want to fight?
¿Qué están diciendo? Con Rebel Alliance
I'm from
y
Mexico.
nada.
It's out in the outer rim.
The Rebel Alliance, vato.
I remember seeing him in.
He's so good.
Was he in Amores Perros? I think he was in Amores Perros.
Hey, Holmes, I want 2 roast beef taquitos with chorizo. Holmes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Now, have we gotten any updates on Kathleen Kennedy being booted out of fucking Star Wars,
Bro.
out of Disney? Kick her the fuck out. Actually, you can put it on something else. Ruin the rest of Disney. Just don't ruin Star
The
Wars.
thing is, she'll
Well,
probably
she's-
one of those people that she'll be on, like, for like
Yeah,
the
she's-
rest of the year just because payroll and stuff.
I feel like Trump
everything
needs
on
to
our desk
sign
and
like
throw it
an
outside.
executive order and sign. You will no longer fuck up Star Wars. Fucking Trump signs it and fucking puts it into law. You will redo fucking Boba Fett series and fucking sign that. You will fucking go and redux all the early Disney Plus shows, starting with fucking WandaVision and Miss Marvel, and go make director's cuts and fix all that shit, dude.
Oh, she's retiring at the end of 2025. Get her the fuck out of there now.
Oh, retire
She-
right now.
They
Pay
can
her.
put the statement that she's retiring at the end of the year,
Bro.
but the fact is, if she's got to be basically have a voice, no voice whatsoever. now.
Hey, what's up, Lewis? Haven't seen Lewis Olivo in a while.
Hell yeah.
But
She's
yeah,
leaving
'cause-
this year.
Because even though she announced like retirement or whatever from that position, I think she's still a part of like something with Star Wars and Disney or some shit like that.
Let me tell you something. At someone in that position, retiring probably means they booted
Demoted.
me. Here's your package. We'll give you a graceful exit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Graceful. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey, Hefe.
Hey, she's still a shareholder.
I'm
There's no doubt
surprised
about
we
that.
don't have people riding bicycles in Andor Part 2. Right?
Kevin Feige.
They
is
have
one
an
of the
alien in
names.
the basket and they're flying over the moon.
Little baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Filoni needs
That
to take
ain't
it
no-
over. Just give it to Filoni.
Perfect Jedi.
That would be the perfect guy to take over.
Yeah, he is.
Perfect
Yeah.
Jedi. Hey, that's what we need. What were those little birds in the
The
last
little
Jedi?
porgs.
The
The
porgs,
porgs. Yeah. That Chewie's eating. He roast one.
bro. Right.
Well, Ryan Gosling's supposed to be a Star Wars person now too, so they're probably going to put a
God.
bunch of. They're probably going to change up the whole thing. Who knows?
Bro, they need a Darth Vader series with fucking Hayden Christensen.
Yes.
Fucking go
You're
go
100%
fucking
right.
write it.
Yep.
Put Ewan McGregor in there, whatever.
They could
and they
also
can,
do a
like,
Kylo Ren series. I
Force
want-
talk shit to each other,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Knights of Ren, Brian.
Knights of Ren.
That's
yeah.
what they should do. you could really explain like what the hell, who these guys are.
Oh, Dr. Afra. I would like to see
Yes.
You can
man.
tell tales of the Jedi.
How you missed that
Just
one?
tell us.
Yeah.
Do a series where you tell all different tales. You don't have to stay in a time period. You don't have, you can do like what ifs style shows.
I thought they were gonna do a what if.
Yeah, I
like,
thought so,
animated
too.
series.
There was talk
I-
about it, but I haven't heard
They-
anything. Yeah.
What
I was
if
actually hoping the
Kathleen
last
Kennedy didn't touch Star Wars?
Yeah. I was actually hoping the last 3 or what ifs. Like, what if this wasn't so fucking terrible? What
What if
Leia, somehow
what
or
if
another got
Ryan
sucked into
Johnson
space and survived?
Nah, what if Ryan Johnson didn't fucking direct the last should pull
Oh,
that
God, he's
out
awful.
and remake that fucking movie in the middle. But then you know what? Fucking blow that all up, dude.
Dude, there's somebody else should watch on YouTube, and you may like. I think it's Star Wars Analyst, and the guy does his own like little videos, and it's almost just like the gaps that you wanted to see. He does like little 3-5 minute videos that are really cool that kind of fill in for how Boba Fett was talked to by Darth Vader to get Han, stuff like that. Just neat stuff.
Allegedly, Nate, on Roku, they were showing the original Star Wars 1977.
Like the original.
The original.
The theatrical cut.
Yeah.
I have those on DVD.
I was about to say I've got them on burned CDs somewhere around here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then for people that actually do own like a box set, you can download the despecialized version online. So there's that version.
They still have that online? God, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, because all you have to do is prove that you own a physical copy of Star Wars somewhere, like a box set or whatever. You enter in like some sort of like the UPC or something like that, and then you can download it.
So Kathleen Kennedy would never actually be able to do that because she's probably never seen it. Because if she had, she wouldn't fucking make the shit that she had.
That's crazy. Like, and I don't want to talk about fucking Star Wars all fucking night long, but it's just nuts how they took a little piece from an open and scroll, and you've got 2 Andor series and fucking
Rogue One,
right? Rogue One,
and honestly, Rogue One's
fucking just nuts.
Phenomenal. Like all the guys I grew up with, being guys who are 50 years old, they're like, everyone goes, and some of the guys will like, man, Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah, because
it's
it is
so
Star
good.
Wars, right?
Yeah.
It connect. I mean, it's like it almost feels like it's supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
That's why I think the Andor series, the next one, is going to be so good because it's going to lead. It's 4 years leading up, and it's going to follow right up to where Rogue One starts.
I hope that they have Galen Erso in there, like first, like maybe a flashback when he's like drawing what if we have this like big moon that just blows up planets? That shit ain't gonna work.
Well, we kind of like the flashback in Rogue One when they're together, like having the drink. Like, what if they were like back in like I don't know, grad school for the Empire, whatever it is, like,
right.
But like where they just kind of he's like, this is the guy. Like, hey, when Krennic realizes like he's way ahead of it.
Dude, what the fuck? I'm
some
about to go crazy.
Like that.
What does this mean? There's something on my phone. It says, okay, it's gone. Thank God. I'm going crazy. I'm trying to unlock my phone and it keeps telling me
bro?
accidental touch protection.
Accidental touch.
That sounds like something I see on the kids.
Like what the fuck was that?
Bro, you're not supposed to pull up naked midgets, bro.
I'm about to say, that's the IT guy. Here you go.
Do you have like that?
Bro?
You have Android, right? So you have that. Do you have that fingerprint to unlock your screen? Yeah. So sometimes like smudges or whatever. Think it's like
that's what it is.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I was going fucking crazy for a second.
There's not like some gang people outside like getting ready to break into Bryan's house and take him home, like take him away, like Guantanamo.
Yeah, it's probably like a smudge or something like that, or part of your fingerprint that's still on there. Yeah, because it happens to my phone, or used to happen to my phone all the time.
It's weird. Like what the fuck?
Or it's getting some sort of pressure from your like screen protector or something like that. Is what I would imagine.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, Ethan, if they would release Rogue One in the theaters again. That would be badass.
You just got to wait for the 10, 20, or whatever year anniversary.
Yeah.
I think I saw Rogue One in the theater. I honestly, it had to be 4 or 5 times. It was so good.
Did you guys hear about Berserker?
The comic?
Yeah. So
or anime?
No, the movie. They announced that the guy who did Fast and Furious, that Justin Lin guy, he's going to be doing the movie.
Can't wait.
What do you mean?
But Keanu Reeves is involved with this, right? Where he's going to be the actor.
He needs to be the main actor, bro.
I thought he was. I thought he was locked into that.
Because
he's a writer. He's the writer for the and he's credited as the writer for the comic. So I think he's.
Aaron, are you going to be correcting me all night, bro?
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm here for,
bro. No, you're wrong.
Old men yelling at clouds. I'll correct them.
You stole fizzy lifting drink.
Did you guys see Derek's comment? Brian, this is perfect for you. NSA is like, watch this. McClay is so high. Let's fuck with him.
Bro, I'm going crazy right now, dude. Look at this shit. Look at this. See this? I can't get into my phone, bro.
Everybody in the chat send McClay a text.
Oh, okay. So what you do now from that screen? Swipe up.
It won't let me.
Your pin. Oh, I don't know.
Fucking thing, bro. It's broken.
I mean, I
remove your phone. I mean, you're on a podcast. What do you need your phone for, anyways?
You are the personality.
I want to mute it. I want to turn the volume off. You know what I mean? So it isn't.
Throw it outside.
Like, motherfucker. Jesus. Anyways, okay. So, new Berserker movie is coming. The guy from Fast and Furious is going to direct. It's going to obviously star Keanu Reeves, and it's being produced by Ross Ritchie. He's one of the producers. So shout out to Ross Ritchie. That's a fucking huge score.
Yeah. So he's going Hollywood.
Yeah, right. Hell yeah, he is. Good for him. So I don't know when it's supposed to, if there's any other news other than that, but that's pretty dope.
Oh, did they say what studio is doing
Netflix.
This? Okay, so it's still Netflix.
Yeah, movie for Netflix.
Oh, so it's going straight to it's going straight to Netflix.
Yep, starring and produced by Keanu Reeves. Also producing are Stephen Christie from Boom, Stephen Hamel of Company Films, and Boom Studios co-founder Ross Ritchie.
Okay, so what are we gonna see first on that? What are we gonna see first on Netflix? Are we seeing Berserker, or are we gonna see Something That's Killing the Children?
Berserker.
You think Berserker will be done first?
Probably.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question.
The reason why I think so is because Keanu Reeves is associated with it, right?
You know what they're gonna have on Netflix, bro? They're gonna have Keanu reading the Berserker comics, bro. And whoa! And then he goes
excellent
to the dark corner, and then he gets shot.
Dude, Keanu Reeves.
You gotta watch out how much. You gotta watch out how much shit you talk about Keanu Reeves, because he could just turn into John Wick like that. So
I wish they hadn't killed him off, bro.
Hey, but I will respect another bass player. So
yeah,
is he a bass player?
Yep.
Well, you should teach him some fucking lessons.
What does that mean, Wilbert? Something is killing the children is vapor.
What
does that mean?
It means it's not going down.
It's what?
It's vapor. Is that what he means? It's like it's dunzo,
or is it smoke and mirrors?
You think so? Okay.
I don't know.
Can I read one piece in the chat? Hi Nathan. Good evening, gents and gentles. Sorry, I've got late diarrhea.
Sorry, I'm late. Diarrhea. Yeah. Dude, I want to do something for the chat. Like I started playing around with this.
Buying some toilet paper.
I started playing around with this this program called StreamerBot, and you can just like code it to do all this crazy shit for OBS. And I want to like make a game for the chat so like people could play like Hangman or Horse in the chat, but with like
that's cool. That'd
right?
be fun.
with like
or Pong across the screen.
Yeah, something. Yeah, you know.
Why don't we get something away for the chat tonight, man?
How about we give Joe away?
Yeah, man. I'll come to your house. I'll press some
Steal your blanket.
I'll press
Steal
some
your
books
blanket,
for
yeah.
you. I'll
Did he
talk
steal your
shit
blanket,
to your
Milo?
neighbors.
Oh, dude, yeah, you can come over and talk shit to one of my neighbors.
Shit, I'll talk shit to your neighbors. Now,
Yeah, I almost got into a fist fight with him like the other day.
Wow.
What?
Dude, he's such a calm guy. Like, wow, man, he must
Did I
really
never tell
piss
you about
off.
this?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so down this rabbit hole.
do
So,
tell, bro.
so
Jeez.
over the last few years, like my neighbor has been complaining about my dog barking like in the morning because it's too early in the morning for him, right?
Well, say I heard your wife barking, and I haven't said anything.
And so he's been because I let him out around 7:30 in the morning, which is not early at all,
No.
right?
Huh.
I think that's a reasonable time. And
Yeah.
anyways, our noise variance laws for here, it's like 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. There's, you can't complain about noise, right? And then he's complaining that like, oh, I'm not a good neighbor because I let my dog bark so early because he's retired and he can't sleep. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing in the day? Just sleep during the day. I don't give a shit what you do. Like, like you have all day to sleep. Like, who cares? Like,
Bro,
I have a job.
Tell him to
I
go
have
kill
go to work.
himself, bro.
Yeah. So, anyways, he kept on complaining, and then one day, my dog gets out, barks at 7:30, and then I take him for a walk. He comes out of his garage and starts screaming at me. He's like, dude, why do you let your dog out? Blah blah blah. Da, 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 da. It starts coming at me. I'm like, dude, like, I don't give a shit. I finally like snapped and I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Like, if you have a problem, complain to my parents. I don't give a shit. Like, just fuck off. Like, leave me the fuck alone because I don't give a care. Like, I don't care. Like, leave me alone. And then he starts charging in at me. I'm like, oh shit, am I gonna have to fucking knock
That
out
dog
this?
would start going in real fast.
Yeah, so my dog
Knock
was
his
standing
head
there.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he starts charging in at me. I'm like, am I gonna knock out an old dude? Like, what the fuck is about to happen here?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so he finally backed off and then like realized that
Did he step onto your property, dude?
No, so I was walking my dog and I was
Oh.
on the sidewalk in front of his house.
Dude, have your
so I
dog
would've
take a
had to
shit
fight-
right in front of his.
Yeah, so I would have had to fight him in the street to not get in trouble because it would have been on his property, right? So
Or you could have lured him to your property.
yeah.
Come on.
Dude, it takes a lot. I would think that it's really, I think, a lot to get Yee that riled up because he's
I've
just
never
so even
seen
keel,
Yee
like,
angry.
nice.
Yeah.
I mean, like, wow,
Yeah.
like this guy must be a complete asshole because like he's such a sweetheart.
Well,
Appreciate it.
fucking
Yes,
crazy
thanks.
neighbors. Crazy neighbors are fun, dude.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
Joe loves his.
Hey,
Did he put
you
signs
guys,
in the yard?
you guys want to hear a mother-in-law story, bro?
oh shit, yes.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So I debated whether to say, like, I told my wife I was gonna fucking say, and she was like, I don't care. She got pissed off, right? And I was like, well, it was funny, right? So when my wife and her brother were young, right? They were kids. Her piece of shit mom was with this her boyfriend, and they played bingo all the fucking time. They were bingo junkies, bro. They would go pawn shit to play bingo, not smoke crack, not do coke or anything like that. Go play fucking bingo.
Do you have to pay to get into a bingo? I'm just
Yeah, it's a high stakes on the west
Okay.
side of town, bro. It's like
Okay.
like the grand prize was like $500. But anyway, so her piece of shit, I guess father-in-law / boyfriend-in-law or whatever,
Donor.
had a Nintendo and would play it and wouldn't let them play it and would close the door to their bedroom, and they only had the AC in that bedroom and would close it. So when my wife and her brother would get home from school, it'd be fucking blazing hot in the house. And so what they would do, and the motherfucker would pause the game for hours, Mario Brothers or whatever, and then and they would like crawl underneath on the floor to get some cool air from underneath the bro. I wanted to kill my mother-in-law when I heard that story, dude. I said, we're going to her house. We're going to pull her out of the house. We're going to beat the shit out of that motherfucker right now. No. She was scared. Well, anyway, like, so I'm taking care of my nieces, right? And she was babysitting the other day. And I said, man, I don't want her in the fucking house, man. So what I did, I took everything out of the refrigerator, right? Tossed it. Took everything out of the ice box, all the snacks, no munchies, nothing, dude. And my mom, my wife went and picked her up, dropped her off so she could watch the girls. I was at work, and my phone starts blasting. She goes, "Babe, there's no food in the house." And I go, "I know." And she goes, "Well, my mother's hungry." Well, she should have ate at home. Fuck that bitch, right?
This ain't Whataburger.
Like the girls had like kids yogurts and stuff like that. That fucking bitch was eating the fucking Yoplait Flintstones yogurt when I got to the house, dude. I go, "What are you doing eating the girls' yogurt?" She goes, "I was hungry." And I go, "You know what? Why don't you fucking eat your fucking face off, dude?" Like, bro. And then my wife tells me, "Hey, can you drop off my mom?" I go, "I sure can. I sure
Where
can."
you gonna drop her off?
So I was going 90, bro, in my truck, just hitting all the turns like that. Didn't even give her time to fucking put on the seatbelt, bro. She was like, "Stop! Now, does that make me a bad person?
So how far does she live from you guys? She lives on. Is she just on the west side?
Not far. Not far.
Not far enough.
Yeah, bro. Bro, she's
no. You're just giving her the karma that she deserves, right?
Bro, she's a piece of shit, dude. Like, I remember one time when
So you let her sit in the cab. You should have put her in the back of the truck.
Bro, we've called her an Uber before just so she can get the fuck out of there, right? She goes, "Who's taking me home?" I ain't taking you home. I'll fucking call her an Uber. Get the fuck out of here. Right? And just give her a tip. Take her the long way.
I take her the shortcut through Louisiana.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I got other stories about her, man. But
shout out to Wilbert, who says Red Hood's in-laws all hate watching the Mayhem. P.S. Bingo is low key hardcore.
Bro, I mean, you're talking gambling. Like she would like ask my wife, "Hey, can I borrow some money? Because I need to get some shit out of pawn, just so that she could repawn it and go play bingo." And I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like, no more. And like, bro, she came at me with a stick one time because I like told her, like, "You're not giving her any money." And she goes, "That's my daughter. You can't tell her she can't give me money." I go, she ain't giving you any money. And this bitch got this big fucking like staff. She's looking like fucking Moses and shit from the 10 Commandments. Like she's gonna fucking throw that at me like it's gonna turn into a serpent or something. So get the fuck out of here, man.
It's a good thing she didn't know about books, man. She'd be hawking your books.
Oh man, dude. I make sure all my shit is locked up. Locked up, bro.
So I the Hood, you guys know the door that comes into this room, and I replaced it. Now it's fingerprint only.
Oh, that's cool.
That's badass.
Yeah. Really?
I know. I was like, "What is it? The Bat Cave?" She goes, "Well, I wanted to get those, whatever it is that would have the shelves and you can pull something down." Yeah. She really wanted to do that, and she's like, just real short. I replaced the lock, so it's basically she's like, "Just put your fingerprint on there." And
that's
then she
awesome,
set it up,
dude.
and she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "No
That's
kids with more kids that come around." She's like, "Nope." So she's like,
"Oh, just to make it safe, locked up."
Like,
that's it.
Yeah.
That's
she's
smart.
Like, no one's getting in there.
That's awesome, bro.
Her name is Cindy, Derek. It's Cindy.
So when do you install the eye scanner?
SINDY.
Once you come over, because we can need your eyes, just because I'm like, hey, once I like croak, he's gonna need to get in here.
to set up the biometrics and yeah.
I need someone. So when Yee's like, "Yep, I need to get to that card," let him in.
Dude, when I went to Nate's house, dude, like this motherfucker, like I even made a video. I go, Nate's got a fucking gonk droid, dude. It was a gonk, gonk. I said, and then I looked over, I panned over, and he's got fucking Han Solo and Carbonite. And I go, what the fuck?
Well,
did we just become best friends?
That's exactly what she said. And the funny part was that was all Anna. There was a guy that we worked with, and he made all that stuff. And she was like, "Hey, can you do this for his birthday? Can you do this for Christmas?" And yeah, very thoughtful. I mean, like she's very thoughtful.
Nate, did you see the G.I. Joe classified reveals at Toy Fair?
I did.
Yeah.
Your crystal ball.
Right? How badass is that?
You know, the funny part, I thought those were going to be glow in the dark when he showed a niche, that render or kind of the background. And when they showed the render, he comes with the sword, the mask, all that stuff. And basically, when he hypnotizes people, that's what they see. Kind of like, in Batman. I was like, man, that's a great idea. It really is.
Such a cool figure.
That's one of the guys like who went from one of the figures that you kind of like, whatever, as back in the day. I always liked him. I always liked that series, but I think that one's going to sell out. I think people are going to go after him hard.
That's so badass. The helmet.
I wish the shield was lenticular.
Yes, so do I.
Because that way the snakes would go through the skull. That would be.
Yeah.
But that
cool.
Yeah.
Derek, I didn't see you at Nate's Christmas party. Like, how'd you know that his toilet paper was like rolls of hundreds?
There it is right there. You can see the box art.
Honestly, I haven't been invited to my bathroom, apparently.
I wonder who did the box art for it.
So I've actually looked on this. Some of the box art is actually on eBay, but it's more like the prelim sketches for like old stuff like Flint, Roadblock. But the prices are way too high because there's just not enough art on those boxes on the side. But when they first started the classified series, they would talk about the artists they employed and why they did it. But some of them just like CoverGirl, it was just too kiddie. Like some of this stuff's really good, and some of it's just like way off base.
I like how he's got the crystal ball too.
Yeah, exactly. If you, I don't know where the photos are, but they have whoever does the photo shoots for Hasbro is really talented. But I think the crystal ball ones are probably the best I've seen, and the way they incorporate the smoke and things of that nature to make it look like he has the ball and stuff like that. It's really cool. And then also the firefighter, like I'm not collecting like the police officer firefighter, but the way they did the firefighter too, like you can see the almost like the garage door or whatever behind him, and you can see like the fire kind of coming through. Really talented guys.
They're already sold out.
Do you think Longshort will buy the bubblegum action figure?
Oh, Breaker's gone.
Oh, he's sold out?
Yeah.
Oh, immediately. It's a Target exclusive, so that's going to be one that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all sold out. So did this one. Out of stock.
What but when does it actually release?
They put them up on the website, and this is my problem. Like I was working, I'd say this like I only do it like one day a week or something, but I was working this week and I never had any time, but I marked the time down when Snake Eyes and the Polar Bear went out.
Oh,
now, I want to say it was like Thursday at like 2 or 3, because sometimes they'll have the classified and they'll release some in the morning and then some later. It's how good does that look? And that's what makes it look like glows in the dark, but it does not glow in the dark.
It's
just the
probably
way
a
they have like
UV
the
light
lights on it.
Yeah,
it's the lighting, or like a black light on it or something like that.
Man, it looks good, right?
Look at how awesome that is.
That's crazy, dude.
It's like Joe's mother-in-law.
Yeah.
That's badass, dude. It's 2 figures in one. Seriously,
I honestly, when I first saw the shield, I was like, "Oh my god, they made a Beyond Wednesdays shield for Crystal Ball." I was like, they did the Brian McClay for Crystal Ball. I was like, that is the most fitting thing I ever saw. I was like, God.
You know what? It's funny you bring this up. I need to get some artists out there. If there's any artists that are out there, want to start coming up with ideas for shirts, graphics. utilizing the Beyond Wednesday skull logo, right? So if anybody out there wants to fuck around with it, come up with cool ideas, I may use your idea. And my plan is I want to do not just the skull logo. I need something for Joe for a mama shirt. I need a mama shirt, right? We got to get a mama shirt.
I also want a Yeezee shirt now. It says I was gonna beat my neighbor's ass. Because I want Yeezee.
No, I want to get a shirt with Yee where he's in his suit. You know what I mean? And have something like that to do with him in the suit. But yeah, we gotta get those going. So if there's any artists out there that are listening that want to fuck around and just sketch things, and if you come up with something that's really cool, send it to me. I might use it. There's a chance I might use it. So
I liked just throwing out there, I love the Legs hats they posted.
Yes.
Oh, with a California license plate.
I liked his vintage name, but I like the color of the other one. But the problem is I have no idea what colors they are. But I was like, I thought they. I was like, I think it looks great, but I didn't say anything because I'm like, I don't know what colors it is. So I just sound like an idiot.
Did he show him yet? He hasn't showed him. He just showed him in our messages.
Yeah, he kind of think they were just more like kind of a test.
Yeah, but that's so. WonderCon is coming up. We got a lot of stuff popping off here at the channel. We've got some variants coming. We're working on variants. The shirts and the merchandise, that type of shit. So if you guys out there, do cool shit, come up with cool ideas. Like I said, I need something for Hood. If you guys want to do something, figure out, do a character of Hood or something, but I need something.
Oh God, Mama. I want to do one.
Maybe it's like a chick, standing there and you see Mama coming out. I don't know. You figure out something for Mama, and then utilize the
mother-in-law's Mama logo. That's the best part.
Yeah,
him yelling at the mother-in-law, Mama.
Okay, so
ain't gonna call her Mama.
Bitch. So the hats, the hat on the right, it's just a black hat. The license plate's black and the text is white. And then the hat on the left, the hat is black, and then it's just the color of the California license plate. So like yellow, red, blue text.
Hey, did I text you, Brian? I got the Suspiria original art.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that in a second. Because multiple people have now. I just want to go over this real quick. All right. These are the rest of the Toy Fair stuff. There was a couple of really good ones that I saw. I liked. They had a blowtorch, right? Is it not blowtorch?
That's what I was going to ask you. The blowtorch, I think, no one really talked about.
Yeah,
that one's good, man.
I think they messed up the flame just because how it's falling off. But like, if you look. I always loved him just because he was yellow.
Yeah.
But orange and yellow.
Yeah.
Is he orange
Frag
too?
Viper. Yeah, this one's dope though. The Dark Claw.
Dark Claw.
Yeah.
And they gave him that new helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the tongue hanging out.
I'm surprised they actually didn't do the vehicle that he came with, because the way they've been doing the vehicles and they may come back out with it, but I like how you get the old helmet and the new one. Like. You can really tell, like the guys that like the G.I. Joe guys, they're into it. They grew up with it. They care about it. It's great.
Yeah,
they do a really, really good job.
Gonzo.
And he comes with one of the elements from the mass device.
Yeah.
I think he comes with the meteor.
Here's Snake Eyes and the polar bear. Now this is
that I got
awesome.
That one ordered.
You got one of these?
Yeah.
Look how badass this looks, dude.
And his hands glow in the dark because they're radioactive.
Oh, that's cool.
Get the fuck out of here. And it's got
that polar bear.
It's got fucking 2 heads.
Yeah.
And the best part is it comes with the trap that Timber gets stuck in. Yep. If you have the other figure, you have Timber.
Oh, the one that you and I both have?
Like the
old school classified?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. You got it.
Dude, this is going to be so badass.
And that thing, when that bear stands up, it's like in the cartoon when it's coming after him. So he can stand on its hind legs, and it's way taller than Snake Eyes. So it's man, they did a great job with this one. Because I really thought the Super 7,
dude,
the way they did it was great. The snake,
This,
I'm in.
This and Crystal Ball might have been the best things because I did not think that they were going to make it this badass. The snake armor was always stupid as a kid, and I think we talked about that. It was
2 weeks ago, and I was like,
goofy.
"Do you guys have it?" And you're like, "Fell apart, right?"
Yeah, this is badass, dude. Look how huge that is.
Wasn't there another color like it came out in like blue or purple?
Dark gray. Was it dark gray? I think.
Probably. I mean, that's the wrong guy.
That's awesome.
Because they'll come out with this, and then they'll just color it like the other one, and then come out with another one.
Yep.
Mm.
It's fucking awesome.
But dude, the Cold Slither.
Yep. Here we go.
I just want to know how you boys are going to send this to me at San Diego.
You need to go to San Diego. That's what it is.
You're not going?
Yeah.
You should go.
You should go, dude. Everybody, there's gonna be a lot of us there, dude.
Joe should go too.
Have y'all gotten a place yet?
We're looking right now, but we just need to know. Like, we got to figure out.
We need to know how many people are going to be there to book the right place. So we're counting you in.
Count me in.
Okay.
What?
Are you going, Joe?
When is it?
End of July.
Yeah.
End of July.
Here, I can look up the exact date.
After the Mets are 15 games up on the Phillies.
Yeah, that's crazy shit.
July 24th to the 27th.
I may have to just to check it off my bucket list.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
just come hang out, dude.
That's what I did.
I just want to come hang out with the guys more than anything.
Well, here's what I want to do, and I've been telling Mickey this because shout out to Swag. I want to get a crew to follow us around. You know what I mean? Get a camera crew, just follow us around. And
that'd be cool,
right? It'd be dope. We could get those little Rode mics, and we don't have to do it everywhere we go, but like, you know, there's so many cool moments that happen at San Diego that would be great. You know.
Oh, my favorite was like just us all hanging out after whatever event, and then we ended up at our Airbnb just like sitting around talking like exactly like this.
Yeah,
dude. When you tell the stories, that sound like the best part.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Like, I just would love to go to people's booths. Can I see that slab? Man, are you pretty confident that this wasn't switched out?
Just fuck with people.
Because Matt Nelson, I talked to him like, just
are you?
Right
do you
down
feel
there,
pretty good
like,
about
I'm
this?
pretty sure that one. That I wouldn't trust that one.
Man, I don't know what I would want. You know what I mean? Like just going to like because I'm gonna buy something, but I don't know what I would want.
Joe, I'll tell you after going to New York for the past couple of years, I've only bought one thing every time in New York, and it's nothing big. Like I got clutches, transformers, and I bought that on eBay and went and picked it up. But it was just, and I remember telling because like he had asked me for something when I was there. I was like, man, there's so much going on. Like I know like one thing I'm interested in, and I don't because that you know I don't want to. I just want to kind of like be around. I don't try to focus too much. Like, hey,
I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy a lot like I did last year. My plan would probably be to aim to get more panel books because those were like all free, right? Just waiting in line.
That's great idea.
Yeah, there's no buy-in. It's just like the time to sit in line and like learn something about whatever's coming up.
But at least with Yee, I'm like, hey. You know where the Hasbro line or where do cut in line to get in, and then or they get like the G.I. Joe panel, like especially someone's never been there. You got guys who have been there and like all that kind of stuff.
Let's try and get into Hall H, bro, and see what they announce. You know what I mean? Maybe they show a fucking trailer or something, a fucking Doomsday or something.
You know what the funny part about that was though? Like when that Hall H was going on with the Doctor Doom stuff, like there's so many people around you that keep up with like what's in the now and what's happening. We were seeing this exact same thing like that everyone online was seeing. Like, oh shit, Robert Downey Jr. on on Twitter or X or whatever. Like, oh, there's a reveal video, and then it's not only our group that's doing this, it's like every group around you that's doing the exact same thing too as well. So it's not like it's a secret, right? there's people that are geeking out just as hard as we are over any kind of announcement like that. So it was kind of cool to see that like kind of effect happen.
Yeah. I just love hanging out and seeing all my friends. That's the best part. Just, hanging out with people and having a good time.
That was my favorite part too, was just hanging out with all of us. And then when we go wait in the line to go to whatever panel, then like people behind us, people in front of us, like, hey, we watched the show. We watched XYZ show.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like awesome. Like, here's a sticker.
Yeah.
Welcome to the sticker, people.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about the Transformers announcement? The Compendium?
What? The Compendium, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll play this for everybody real quickly. This is gonna be awesome.
Transformers.
So, just like the G.I. Joe stuff, you're getting a Transformers Compendium set. It's gonna have the Marvel. It's gonna have the Marvel series. It's gonna have Generation 2 Marvel series. It's gonna have the Headmasters stuff. I don't know if it's gonna have G.I. Joe vs. Transformers, but that'd be cool. And it's gonna have all the UK stuff.
Oh,
which
wow.
is fucking awesome. So,
Man, there's a guy in the chat that could fucking draw like a motherfucker. His name is Eric Hurd. And I put my money on Eric and draw something badass for you, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh, dang. Ronnie bought the Bryce comic mystery pack. Received today. 100% trash. Ronnie?
Why would from Bry? He's still around?
Yeah.
I thought he'd quit. Like who's that
Like
one guy
Sippy
that got roped by Comic Tom?
Yeah.
I guess he's still doing his mystery pack thing, and
mystery pack.
Shout out to my boy Ronnie.
So
Appreciate that, my brother.
So my thought is on this, like, the G.I. Joe went so well. Transformers next, because that way you have like what, Generation 1, Generation 2, Headmasters, the movie, kind of like the big ones. There's a lot of the other stuff that doesn't have enough, but you could do like an 80s and do like Thundercats and Humanoids, Voltron, Silverhawks, He-Man, just like a lot of them you can put together in like a compendium, something like that next.
Nate, do you remember the grand prize game? It was on WGN. They had Bozo and they would show fucking Transformers in the morning. But in this grand prize game, Bozo would line up like 6 or 7 buckets and you would have to take a ping pong ball, right? They'd invite a kid up and he could win prizes every time he made the ping pong into the bucket. And I swear to God, these kids were deaf, dumb, and blind, bro. Like they get to the second part, and I'm screaming at the TV, "Fucking make it! Fuck!" Like I don't know if you can find a clip of it, Brian, but it's called Bozo's Grand Prize Game, dude. And it was on WGN, and that's how I saw my Transformers cartoons.
Mine came out at 4.
Mine was at 7 o'clock in the morning, bro.
Wow. Because it was
on WGN Chicago,
and then at 3 o'clock is when it's kind of was always revolving between like Silverhawks, Thundercats, all the kind of stuff they were trying out, and then be G.I. Joe, Transformers, and then DuckTales.
Yeah,
I remember super early in the morning. It was the old school Johnny Quest cartoon, and then
Johnny Quest, Mr. Quest.
Yeah, and then it went into G.I. Joe. And then I think I went to school. And then as I got older, then when I got to middle school, I remember watching Johnny Quest, like the remake one that they did.
Oh yeah. So I wake up Alex in the morning with Looney Tunes, the original.
Oh, nice.
He loves Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, and it's funny. He can be like lights out, but he hears meep meep or something like that, and he just pops up, and it's amazing. He wakes up immediately and just starts dying laughing. Like it's so fun. Like it's so much fun.
When he grows up, that's gonna be his alarm clock to wake up.
Bro,
When
when we were kids, we'd wake up at 7:00, no problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
it was
sir.
just automatic. The fucking Super Friends and shit like that.
Well, so Transformers originally was on Saturday mornings, and I remember it came on at 7, and then there was something I remember watching at 6:30 before that, because I'd wake up at like 6:15, 6:30, because I did not want to miss Transformers. That season 1, and it was I can't, man, I'm just blanking on it, but Transformers would be on at 7, and then there'd be like the almost like that Japanese, like the American, like I'm trying to remember what the guy, it was like kind of like the fake like Godzilla, whatever it is, what
like
it was,
Voltron or something like that.
Yeah, but it was more like real life, or they try to make it real life. And then then you go to like CBS and NBC and all those guys for like 8:00. That's when the cartoons really kicked off on Saturday, and they would go till noon. And I just wanted to let you guys know. So Eric, apparently, he heard the Mets thing. I didn't say the Braves would finish 3rd. I said the Mets will outpace the Phillies. I didn't mention the Marlins are Nationals, so Braves could be 5th. I have no confidence in them. They're losers. They're trash.
Did you read? Are you still reading Transformers, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
Did you read issue 17?
I have not.
So they introduced a new character, and
no, I did, because that's the one. Skywarp is part of Teletran 1, and Thundercracker comes to save him, and that's the cover I got.
Yep. Windblade,
the one that looks like a Skids kind of, but he's what's his
this
name?
character, this Windblade character.
Windblade. Windblade's been around.
Yeah, but this is the first time that she's ever been in a comic, right?
No, she was on the cover of like 23.
Yeah, it's a retailer
the
incentive.
variant cover, the 1 in 10. Yeah,
Okay.
it's an expensive cover.
I've got that. You want to buy
That's
it?
dope, dude. Which issue is this from?
It was Transformers, like More Than Meets the Eye, back in like I don't want to say like 2012, something like that.
There it
And
is.
it was, I think it was like 23, the 1 in 10. Okay,
There it
26.
is.
Yep.
I never heard about this character. I was just looking around.
That book
and
is
saw this.
expensive and nobody talks about
It is very expensive.
I think I got it around here.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Because like I used to find the version with Metroplex on the cover, and I could find like the A cover, and so I used to buy them all the time when Bedrock would have their 50% off sale for like $1.50, but I could never find the variant.
What is it? Transformers
26. Yep. If you put Transformers 26 and then you sort them high to low for price,
What's her name?
Windblade.
Windblade.
She was also on one of the animated series they did for the Titans Return.
$140.
Pricey.
How much?
140.
That's it?
So there's
no,
that's the one with
One sold
Metroplex.
for 50.
Yeah, that's the one with Metroplex. If you have to get the one with her on the cover, because I believe that's a 1 in 10. That's and there aren't
figure.
You know,
The
there aren't
figure
many of them.
comes with a comic, it looks like.
Yeah.
Which is pretty dope. I never heard of this character until I just saw her.
Oh.
Yeah, she looks cool. The Titans Return, I think, is the cartoon I watched. Minosaur and I'm trying to remember who's fighting.
She's the only one that can talk to the Titans, right?
Something like that. But she's in it from the very beginning because they kill they kill the Titans.
Where are you?
Are you
I
looking
don't
for
think
it?
it's Computron.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Superion. I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, there isn't any of the issue that she is in. I never.
Yeah,
even heard
it's
of
a
this.
tough book, bro.
Yeah.
It's very tough.
Let's see here if there's any of them.
I should put it on eBay, dude.
That's
There's
it.
one $350, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's mint though. Somebody wants to buy it, and I'll press it.
I was gonna say, you want somebody to press it? I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy. I'll find it.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for that now.
Hey, buy it from me, bro.
Look there. Look at that one.
I got that one.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick. Matt, speaking of Transformers comics, what's going on, brother?
What's going on?
Hey, holy
Yo.
shit,
What's going on?
bro? The man,
I'm just like,
the myth, the legend.
I'm sitting here watching your show, and I'm like, there's a birthday party here, so all the wives are outside, and all the kids are in the room. I'm just sitting here
it's
watching.
the best time,
like,
bro. It's the best time.
I'm like here drinking whiskey, and I'm like, listen.
Can I send mine over?
It's like, I'm like, I'm just gonna pop on. Why not?
Hell
I'm
yeah,
like
brother.
literally sitting on the computer here. But,
Hell yeah,
how's
dude.
it going?
It's going good. Dude.
Nice
How
to
you
chat
doing?
with you guys. I've seen Red Hood a million times, and I've never actually shared the same square.
I gotta
It
go
smells
I'll be
just
right
like
back.
you
I'm
like
gonna go grab a drink.
It makes
I'll be
us
right back.
practically related now, bro.
I know, pretty much.
Hey,
we have
we're
the same
family
people,
now.
too. How's it going?
It's going good, man. We were talking about the Transformer book, the first appearance of Windblade on the cover. How much of a ghost is that?
It was crazy hot for 3 years ago. 2024 is when it really kind of started spiking, and then when Skybound got the series, it kind of just disappeared. And I mean, as soon as she pops, is she in the series? I think she is, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's not. Well, the thing is, I always thought that she'd be popping one of the movies. I'm really surprised they never used her. Like, I figured that's when it would, because there've been so many movies, but they never used her on any of those. But is she on
She's in the
Cybertron in the
Skybound
comic?
series, right? She's in the new.
Well, Legal One's on Cybertron in the series, but I didn't realize Windblade was. I didn't think Skybound had used her yet.
You know, the early Transformer books, like the IDW ones, like there's some sneaky expensive books, man. Like there's one that sold not too long. I think F and Rad sold it for almost $2,000, and it was I think a retailer incentive, just a headshot of Ultra
Magnus?
Ultra Maximus. Remember
Magnus.
Ultra, Bryan? He would always talk about this Transformer book, and F and Rad had it a few months, maybe 6 months ago, and he sold it for like a couple of grand.
Which book is it? Oh, is it the Big Planet book?
The Cybertron, the Unicron book.
Yeah,
it's Unicron. Yeah,
not the Unicron. No. It's a headshot.
Oh, it's a headshot.
Nothing. Long time no see.
I know.
I need to jump on a Monday show sometime when you send out the link.
I know we it's pretty casual. We got to do something more with that show, but because we actually need to put some structure behind it. But for now, it's just kind of like a little hangout. It's kind of free form, but we do need to have some substance and direction with it. We'll get there.
Well, we get to talk geek out over your website as I'm using it right now.
And thank you for using it. I mean, like we're only trying to make it better, so hopefully it'll be we got to get F.O.C on there, which is our plan. The full F.O.C list eventually.
Yeah.
Everything we're doing tons of stuff on the back end of this year will be kind of our big year to make a lot of big updates and changes and fixes.
Are you going to have an app?
We're working towards it. It's one of those things where we hope to have it by the year end, but it's one of those things it could take longer. It depends. Something always comes up and then pushes it back,
What
Matt, would you do, like launch on iOS, Android, or like one software?
Yeah, it's web based right now. So when we started building it in 2016, and we wanted to launch it wide and not be stuck dealing with iOS, and it was just one of those things where we learned a lot of lessons. There's a lot of things we should have done differently because we bootstrapped it so much for the first 3 years that now we're paying for we have a lot of technical debt that we're paying for. Literally the past 2 years has been fixing all the things we did wrong from the beginning.
Joe's doing the same thing with his mother-in-law.
What's that?
Joe's doing the same thing with his mother-in-law right now. He's paying off those debts.
Yeah, right. But no,
he's disappeared. Yeah, he's gone.
It's fun. Yeah, I mean, I love comics so much. So it's like literally, I work all day on comics, and then I sit down and I'm watching a comic book show, looking up comic books. Like it's like it just never ends. So
it's a never-ending vicious cycle.
And I love the cover price merchandise now. I got to send
I got to take that down. Yeah, it's kind of it's just people have been asking for it. So we're like, okay, we'll see if this works and see if people are interested in. And I mean, it doesn't do any. It's all made to order, so it doesn't really cost much to just have up there.
Do you have any plans for San Diego this year?
Just to be present. We'll probably do a panel. We usually always do a panel there. We usually do one WonderCon, but we're skipping WonderCon this year because we're doing C2E2. Yeah.
You are going to C2E2 though?
Yeah, we're doing C2E2. We're actually bringing like the whole team. So we're doing.
I'll be at C2E2.
Well, we'll have to get together. We are having a dinner with the team, so let me know.
Okay. Yeah.
We're doing. We're bringing literally 15 people out. We're doing something with eBay, so we're doing another live stream giveaway, with Clutch actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to do something with CGC. We're still working out the kinks of that. But that should actually be really interesting. And pretty fun. Yeah, and then just hanging out, being around for the convention.
Yeah.
John hates it because we're there to work, but I can't stop myself from digging. So I'll walk past the booth and I'll be like, I got it. I just got it. I can't. I just gotta do this.
Yeah, it's a work vacation. That's what I call it.
Yeah, we end up actually, it does end up being a lot of work because we're just talking to everyone and we're just talking nonstop, which is not bad, but it does get pretty exhausting by the end of the day. And there's not a lot of time for digging or looking for comics. For what was it, New York, I didn't dig at all for all 4 or 5 days. We didn't have time.
Oh wow.
And that kills me. I hate that because that's
especially since you have access to all these different places and different areas of the country too, right?
Yeah. And now it's like so we wear a cover price shirt. So when I dig, I kind of try to hide it so people don't
don't interrupt the flow.
No, just so that they're like, oh, exactly what stuff is worth, because my shop does that now. So they'll be like, what did you get? Just you can have it, but just tell me what we missed. And so I have to
see that's what no one tells you about being on these podcasts. Right. Where you used to fly under the radar, when you're digging through books, and now you can't because people are like, oh, I recognize your voice. How do I recognize your voice? And it's like, dang it, I can't use all my old tricks when no one knew who I was.
Imagine somebody come up to you just randomly and hey, how much is this Transformers 41 worth?
we get it with retailers. Retailers will buy boxes at cons and they're like, hey, can you go through this for me? And I just flip through, and I'm like, here's the 2 books out of this whole box that you want to and then I just hand it over. Yeah. Dude. John's like, you should charge for that. I'm like, it's fun to see what they got,
Yeah.
The curiosity of my just seeing what's in the box, especially the stuff that's behind the counter. That's the stuff I love. I don't know if you guys remember, but Campbell always had his personal box at their booths. And you had to request to see their personal box, and that's where all there was good stuff in those boxes. Especially in hindsight, there was a lot of good stuff in those boxes, and for really affordable prices too.
That's really cool.
I want to show something to you guys that made me just. It's not in comics, but it's in our world, and it made me just it was one of those Tim and Eric moments. You know what I mean? The crazy shit that happens. Check this out. How cool would it be to get an Ultimate Fighting Championship VHS tape, the original UFC graded?
Wow.
That's a smart
feel
play.
I feel like that's a really good price to buy
Right?
something like that. Yeah,
It
with how
seems
big
like
it is.
something Vinny would have, dude. You know?
Yes.
All right, so
Right?
here's my. Can I do a quick rant about VHS?
Of course.
So
Yes.
so like essentially, like everything else, like you look at games and comics, you can preserve paper for if you do it right for hundreds of years. Video games will last for hundreds and hundreds of years because they're all plastic, right? Or CDs, they're still plastic. But games are VHS. The ribbon that they put the film on degrades, like just in the best case, like the best case conditions, it degrades by like 3-5% per year. If it's in your garage, it's like dust by like 10 years later. So like that's the thing. Like everything else, when you seal it, you put it away. Like, are you just buying the visual coffin?
Yes.
Essentially,
Totally.
It's like, but then again, like all those other things, you could theoretically break out and play. If you wanted like that old, like if you wanted a Super Mario, you'd be crazy to do that. But
this is just pure.
It's just pure nostalgia.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I get it completely, but it's definitely one of those things. It's the one collectible that literally is degrading inside of its little of its case right there. So it's kind of like, and I don't know if that doesn't change the value at all, because I'm sure they just look at the sealed and the seal and the condition of the case and all that. But
yeah,
yeah,
totally.
I haven't got into the VHS market at all.
Neither have I. But this would be something cool. This would be something I would want. I remember the first time that we saw this. I didn't see one first. I saw two first. Two was the first one I saw. And I felt like one wasn't even out on VHS until after two, right? Didn't two come out first or something weird like that? And then they put out one like retro. I don't know. Anyways,
and Dan said VHS tapes last way longer than 10 years. Yeah, no, I believe it. I was exaggerating. But the point was that I don't think it lasts forever. Essentially.
Oh yeah, because that was the whole reason why they're starting to do digital backups of films, right? Because it just degrades over time. Like even those that are properly preserved in vaults or whatever, like they degrade.
Yeah.
I mean they're cool. I mean, like actually the one VHS tape that I would probably want to get, it was the Deadpool one that was like a collector's edition release.
That's cool.
It was released by Walmart, right?
Yeah, and that's way off the grid, because that's pretty in terms of like no one's making VHS tapes. I wonder even how they made that.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted is I was telling my wife, went somewhere earlier, and I was like, do you realize in the same month, like Use Your Illusion 1, Use Your Illusion 2, the Black Album, Pearl Jam 10, Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger, and Nevermind by Nirvana all came out within like the same month?
What?
And I was like, back when we were kids. But I remember the old CD cases, like the long ones.
The long ones with the extra cardboard at the top.
Yeah, like I would love to get like a Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 graded and have those together, like to hang up. I think those would look incredible.
Yeah. I know the Nirvana one sold for a crazy amount of money recently.
Yeah, it's got to be incredibly hard to find those.
I mean, my band put out a cassette tape.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love cassette. Yeah.
My daughter she bought like a Taylor Swift CD, and she literally opened it up and just hung it on her wall. And I'm like, why is it just hanging on your wall? She's like, I don't have a CD player. Like, I don't know what to
do. Oh, and then computers don't have disk drives anymore.
Right. Mm-hmm. She's like, I don't know what to do with it.
$504,000 so far. Less than 24 hours into the auction. For the Paul Skeens.
What do you think it ends at?
I don't know, probably like 800, 700, right? You think
yeah,
it goes for $1 million?
I would go with that end, maybe $1 million, but it's wow.
Well, how much do you think Paul Skeens spends to buy his own card back?
Nothing. I don't think he cares.
Is it at Golden? Who's selling it? Do we know?
If it was at, I don't think it's at Golden. I feel like it's at Heritage, because if it's at Golden, Ken Golden would be plastered all over the goddamn place.
Yeah,
I thought it was Golden.
What I have in my hands right now.
No. It's Fanatics. It's Fanatics is auctioning it, I think.
Can I ask a dumb
Fanatics that's
question?
auctioning
That
it?
sounds right.
Yeah, I think it's
Is now the
Fanatics.
time to get back into have we seen a year since the 2019-2020 basketball year when everything was like crazy?
It's that bad right now, and there's no reason to get into sports cards at all right now. Yeah, here it is.
But it seems like
550,000.
baseball might picking up like prisms or whatever, or tops. It seems like it might be worth it.
Here's the problem, and we might as well just get into it. Here we go.
I got actually. I hope this makes you come drunk, because these dudes, goofy ass dudes.
Into the news. Into the into the
But let's get down to business.
So here's the thing, right? Like, cards, this right now is the worst time period to get into cards, in my opinion, because they have never been as high priced. Has never been as much fuckery in it. There might have maybe back in like when Upper Deck first came out, because there was some major fuckery going on back then with autographs and Upper Deck and stuff, but there's never been as much fuckery as is right now in the breaking world. And the return is not worth it. It's just not worth it. And they're hard to find for the most part. You used to be able to find, you could just go to a Target and there was always something there. You know what I mean? Even the good shit. And it's just not worth it. It's so expensive nowadays, Matt. It's gone up since the 1920 basketball year. I think, how much are Prison Blasters right now for basketball?
Blasters, aren't they like 35 or $40 or something like that?
Are you talking
I know Target usually charge 40.
I'll give you a perfect. Actually, I was going to bring this up earlier because, like, I was with my son and he, like I was mentioning, Roadrunner. They have a Looney Tunes box. You get 5 packs, $26 for Looney Tunes cards. I was like,
crazy.
What kid could ever buy cards? It's ridiculous.
That's it.
Well,
yep.
And then the crazy part is they increase the price, but you also get less cards too in the product.
There you go. And then it's harder to hit something, and the odds got worse.
yeah.
Like the Golden Mirrors this year, almost twice as bad as what it was last year for Series 1.
Your odds of getting a good player stick to
haven't-
basketball. Like, there's too many baseball players, and it's too easy to get a lot of crap. You know, it's not worth it. I bought a blaster box of the new tops, and I got a couple of Paul Skeens and Jackson Holiday, but other than that,
I even I even bought into like Sapphire for a while too. and then I pulled a 1 of 1, and then I barely made my money back off that 1 of 1 because it was
With
just
the
like
1-on-1?
Yeah. So I mean, like, because it was just like a whoever player, right?
And the crazy part is the number of 1-on-1s now, or 1 of 1s.
So many.
Like, I think Ellie has like 35 from last year. It's insane.
Well, if you just even break it down in one set, like, because like there's so many sub checklists, right, of inserts,
Yeah.
and then
Yep,
they made
you're right.
like a number parallel for each of those sub. So you could, in a product like Topps Chrome or whatever, Ellie could have like, I don't know, 20 1 of 1s just in that, like autos and non-autos.
And here's the other thing: speaking about kids, the Pokemon card world is horrible right now. It is so
I've seen people
bad.
taking metal detectors and scanning the packs for the foil cards.
Jesus.
It's like,
Look at these.
It's crazy.
Look at these
Crazy.
two
Did you hear
guys.
about the? Yeah.
These two guys are fighting over who gets to buy
Mitch them
all
all.
the product from a recently stocked vending machine of Pokemon. 2 grown men fighting over buying all the product. You can't buy any. I'm going to buy them all.
I would love to be at that person's house. What did you do today? Well, I fought a man.
He looks like an Eagles fan, so I completely get it.
Hey, Billy, I saw your dad on TV again.
So they dug deeper into the other guy, the one that's getting pushed away from the machine. He literally goes around, follows all the different, or he, has an insight to all the different people that refill the machines, and he's always the first person in line. Like, he pays off those people to tell them like when they're restocking. So I don't remember who dug deeper into that guy, but yeah, that's what they found out, that he's like a notorious like scalper or whatever.
Yeah, I guess the guy in the dreads is well known for buying out machines. He even goes as far as paying off the route drivers to get their resupply routes so he can be first in line. Many videos with him in it. That is crazy. See, that's what I mean. Like, that type of shit was happening in cards. Now it's happening in cards that are meant for kids.
Yeah, for Pokemon.
I don't feel so bad going. My dad dropped me off in '89 at Walmart, and I stayed there for almost 3 hours going through every pack of hoops to see if I could find David Robinson. Because you could see on the front and back. Yeah. And I mean, because he was like, "How long you want to be here?" I'm like, "I got all day." So he's like, "I'll be back in 3 hours." I'm like, "Okay." So I think they were 50 cents a pack. And I think I bought like $11 worth, but I went through every
do you remember
pack
how
they had.
big that card was, man?
Yeah.
David Robinson. Jesus Christ, that was a huge card.
I got one for you. Check this out. Speaking of Pokemon, listen to this.
All right, here we are again. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, they took the eggs, they crushed stores with bots. Now it's been discovered that there's Pokemon Discord groups that are pumping and dumping in the markets just like it's a cryptocurrency.
Does that sound familiar? Guys? You remember like back in the day when there was like these secret comic book groups that would say, okay, everybody's got to hold until the book hits 80. Nobody can sell anything until the book hits 80, and then everybody sells, but you can't sell it for less than 80. And now they have Discord groups where they're doing that with Pokemon. Look at this. Blood Moon Ursulana EX. Today we boost Blood Moon Ursulana. Starting value 60, aiming at 80. Keep buying copies on Card Market or TCG Player to boost the value. Hold the cards until 80 to make sure the market doesn't crash. How crazy is that?
It's unbelievable.
Buy in at 60, hold this so the market doesn't crash, sell at 80. That screenshot is for Blood Moon Ursulana, which pumped over the past 30 days. So apparently these groups send out alerts, full financial advice too. Buy at this price, sell at this price. They'll go ahead and take care of buying out all the listings to manipulate the price and pump it artificially. Do you know what type of catastrophe it would be to the Pokemon market if people found out cards like their beloved Moonbreon were artificially pumped by groups and they're holding until a certain price target just to dump it on people? This is scary. It can cause a very big mess to collectors in the market if somehow we don't control this. But yeah, this is a full pump and dump scheme right here. All right, here we are again.
Crazy, man. Absolutely nuts. Matt's having problems with his camera.
Yeah, apparently my camera's just not working. So
You're good, brother.
I bumped it. What's that?
You're good, brother.
Yeah, I bumped it.
Just be RoboCop. Just be RoboCop then. That's cool with me.
Yeah, that's just as cool. This shit's crazy, dude. It's just getting worse. And not only that, listen to this.
Pokemon Company is putting a stop to scalpers. Make sure you pause and read this. Scalpers, you want to start running for the hills. When Pokemon turns on these printing presses, they are going to dump product into the market and prices are going to plummet. If you're a collector, if you're an investor, and you haven't sold the Moonbreon yet for $18,000, you might want to because the price is coming down. It's over. The hype is coming back down to planet Earth. I remember in 2021 when Pokemon put this out, and within 6 months, things were Shining Fates was printed to the ground. These sets, when they get overhyped and Pokemon fans cannot get them, Pokemon takes it serious and they start pumping and turning on those presses. It is going to get back to normal really quick. And if you're a fan and you're upset and you're like discouraged and you don't want to be in the hobby anymore, just be patient. Pokemon is going to come to the rescue, and all the scalpers, they're going to run for the hills, and they're going to start flipping Beanie Babies and Nike shoes again. Pokemon.
So be on the ready, you guys. Like, fuck, man. That shit's crazy. That's really nuts. Pokemon
It is.
cards.
I mean, like,
about money.
Alex just started getting into it, and there's like no product to buy.
Yeah.
And
You're right.
so it's just one of those things where, like, you know, hey, if you do this stuff with all the math workbooks, I'll get you a Pokemon card. Who do you want? Charizard or Arceus, or I'll just take a Stuffy, because there are no cards, so you just have to get like stuffed animals. So I'm like, it's wild. And then listen to one of the guys at the store. He was talking about the prismatic, and I don't know enough about Pokemon, but he'd mentioned that it was the first time that he'd seen like a Pokemon release where that you could actually pull a card worth like 1,000 or more than that in a couple of years, and that's why everyone's going nuts for it. So,
since we're in the drama alert segment, I got a shout out Ronnie, who said that he did buy one of Bry's Comics mystery packs. I guess he's got those mystery packs that he's actually doing, like making the packing like their card packs, like Whatnot's doing, and he's making his own mystery packs. And what did he say? He said that it was pure trash. He said that there was
Ninja Funks all over the place.
Yeah, dude. So, I don't know if there's anybody else in chat that has gotten any of those. Does he show what they are? Man, that guy's still making money. He's selling all kinds of stuff.
People want that scratch off for that, that Holy Grail book.
I saw someone in front of me today, and I think it's applicable here. They had a bumper sticker that said, "So many idiots, so few meteors." Bam, there you go.
Yeah.
So wasn't Bry the one that replaced us when we left Key Collector? Right.
Yes.
They had Bry's picks of the week, and he would only pick his variants.
Yes.
That.
Yes, it looked really bad.
Was he the one that was like starting up something like right as we were kind of exiting?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there was a little bit of both of us showing up at the same time for a short period, and then it just became him.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. These Hulk packs are still catching.
Is that the one you have, Brian?
Yeah. Still catching heat. I know, Matt, you guys have this on your cover price. We talked about it on the Hot 10 the other day. The gold Hulks.
I mean, it landed on there. I mean, here's the thing with those packs. So the X-Men ones definitely cool down a lot. Like, and so that these are not original covers, and those were. So these will cool down pretty fast. You know,
they won't be as hot as the 24 packs.
It's kind of not like, maybe the golds and the rainbows or the prisms might hold some good value, but you look back at heck, you look back at the Whatnot, Kirkham, the first ones they did of the
Sean
battle
did.
damage.
Yes.
Yeah. And those have dropped like a lot in value. And it just comes down to pure economics. It's not that they're bad books. It's not that they're not super rare. It's just the more that's on the market, it's just it's all supply and demand. As soon as demand starts dipping, then those prices start coming down. I mean, the best thing for people to do is just hold them and then, release them a little at a time. But the problem is they're all going to people flipping them. So, that just, it's like the nature of the beast with those.
Well, I think what's interesting about it, though, is that Whatnot has showed that they can make it's easy to make these, right? And so we're going to, on a current level, right? I know that back in the day, Big Clutch and Skybound and those guys did that mystery pack way back in the day. But Whatnot has kind of showed that anybody can do these. And then you see people like, I know that Top Shelf Comics was creating his own. Bry's Comics is creating his own. I'm telling you, we're going to start seeing other publishers and other entities, business entities doing those packs.
Yeah, Image and Boom are getting into it too. Well, Boom did it actually with Power Rangers right before Whatnot did it, and then Image is working on stuff right now to get into that as well.
Yeah,
Skybound has that Battle Beast one,
right?
Mystery pack coming up. So.
I mean, I don't hate it. I love it. If my only thing with the Whatnot stuff is that there's no chance for the market to buy in on them. They all go to people selling, so like there's no the starting price is aftermarket pricing immediately, right?
So there's no like retail price.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could release like, I don't know, 500 out to the wild and cap it, and then you sell them for, I don't know, $100. And then you still get people coming to the app and buying them from the store. So because that's their thing, they said, "Oh, we want traffic into Whatnot," and it was like, well, you can still sell them on, somewhere on Whatnot and just make them available up front. Yeah,
because like remember when the app was starting, they had the Whatnot accounts. You could just have just open that up in the Buy It Now section for people to pick up, I guess, or whatever.
And again, they're not bad. I mean, I get it. I love the mystery of not knowing what you're going to get. I like the gamble for sure. It was you guys remember the Harley's Little Black Book, and all those blind packs, and you can get original art in a lot of those.
Yep.
That was so much fun, right? Like, I mean, awesome. But you're buying them for $3 a piece, so it wasn't like the gamble. You could drop $50 and sure, you might get like a lot of the same books, but for the most part, it was a fun experiment.
They say there's still a lot of original art that hasn't been like claimed yet.
Yeah, I love finding the sealed ones.
Oh yeah,
like dollar boxes, because it's just
were
fun
they
to
redemptions
like buy.
or were they actually in the bag?
No,
you could
in
pull
the
them.
packs. Yeah, in the packs.
There's a couple of Campbells that haven't been pulled.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, a lot of people may have found them and just never said anything. True.
That's true too.
Does anybody know about the? Does anybody know that's anyone who's actually in like the Alex Ross monthly subscription service? Because he actually includes like random pieces of art in his.
Yeah, I was. I kind of
curious about that.
I was just paying attention to that. I should ask Chris about that. Chris Rups, so he can explain it more. Chris is a good guy. If Chris is involved, I think it would be a pretty good deal. Like, I mean, of course, everyone, both sides have to come be profitable on these things.
Yeah.
But the gamble of if they add in some original art, mix it in, and you're lucky to get one. I love that. I love that gamble. I'll do
because
that.
The thing is too, with like if you're getting just like some autographed Alex Ross books,
yeah,
like
see,
that's great. So you can't really lose. It's just eventually, hey, what are the odds of maybe just hitting something?
Bro, that Campbell right there, I would kill for that book right there.
And how's that not a cover? Like why didn't they actually make that?
That was his. That was in one of the packs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. So there's a J. Scott Campbell one in Harley's Little Black Book one. There's a Darwin Cook in Green Lantern number 47.
Can you imagine a Darwin Cook? That would be crazy.
There's an Alex Ross in Batman 47. There's a Tim Sale in Green Arrow 47. There's a Jim Lee in Justice League 47. There's a Bruce Timm in Harley Quinn 23. There's a Lee Bermejo in Superman 47. And there's a Joe Madureira in Justice League of America number 6. Terry
I would love
Dodson.
to have any of these. Any of them.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so why can't they do more of that? I mean, that's a fantastic way to engage and get people into shops, if anything. They don't have to do it all the time, but if they did this once a month or maybe every quarter, how many people would show up to their shops to like buy these and then of course buy other things? I wish they would do more of these for sure.
This is Patrick.
Look at Green Lantern.
Green Lantern from a HBB. Yeah, so this is from one of them. I don't know who that is. Is that who did Green Lantern 47? I don't know who that is. Maybe that's Bruce Timm. Is that Bruce Timm?
It's not 10, but I just remember like back in the day when like Shane Davis did like Green Lantern. But I mean, but to pull that.
Is it Mankey?
Let's see here. Green Lantern 47.
Up the top, Darwin Cook.
It looks Dodson-ish.
Darwin Cook?
No, I think it's Dodson.
Is it 47?
Wait, PAT. I don't know what PAT is. So
Pat. It's Pat.
It looks like that's what it says there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. It's pretty good though.
Wow.
I want to find like if there's a forum that talks about these. That would be a cool thing for Cover Price to like find if any of these have ever been pulled.
Yeah, we
That's
should
Van
look back.
Sciver.
I could look through all the like past sales.
Yeah, that's Van
See what I
Sciver.
can pull together.
Let's see here.
Matt, it sounds like the party's going on at the house.
Oh, it's because people are now leaving, so it's like people are getting picked up.
So you never told what bourbon you're drinking?
I have not Creek. It's 100 proof. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
You can't hide money.
Yeah. It's you can't go wrong with any Kentucky bourbon. So
I want to see all these,
Nice.
man.
Can't go wrong with Kentucky bourbon. You just go wrong with Kentucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, did they find that Campbell?
I'm sure it looks like someone did.
Yeah, somebody found this.
Unless-
Yes. Yeah, this one's been found. So
That's the stuff that's in the same camp as like original art. So that just gets sold, from person to person. That doesn't show up on eBay.
Well, speaking of whatnot, which we were talking about, have you guys been following the continuing saga of Rob Liefeld, the GOAT?
Is he still fired up?
I gotta share this. That we showed it in our show. It is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if I can share it. Can I share it real quick and I'll show you?
Yeah.
I love Rob. We've had our run-ins with Rob.
Yep.
But I enjoy it. I mean, he was my first book. So Youngblood was my first comic.
Yep.
But here I'll show you.
Did you not include him in the credits for your movie too, or?
You got like look at this real quick. I think you have to add it to the.
Before presenting a screen, remove other media. What the hell? All right, hold on. Let me do this. Let me do that.
Oh, it's a jump in.
No, hold on. I got to remove mine. There we go.
So it's 1992. Rob Liefeld quits Marvel Comics. It's 1996. Rob Liefeld quits Marvel Comics. It's 1996. Rob Liefeld quits Image Comics. It's 2000. Rob Liefeld quits Austin Comics. It's 2012. Rob Liefeld quits DC Comics. It's 2013. Rob quits his crowdfunded comics. It's 2024. Rob Liefeld quits Marvel Comics. Then it goes to the future. Like Rob quits Youngblood again. Rob quits his crowdfunded projects again. And then in 2027, Rob Liefeld announces he will never quit quitting comics.
That's awesome.
I love that. It's so true. It's
It
funny.
is, dude. And Rob is dude, he needs a cameraman following him at all times because it would be amazing.
His podcast is like pretty good already.
It's the best. It's the best.
And then like just watching him on Whatnot, it's just him unhinged of podcasts.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Like you never know what's gonna happen on his shows. Like it's not there to sell stuff, I can tell you that.
Well,
I'm always like, can't you bring in your wife? I love Saved by the Bell. Can't you just bring the wife in for a little bit?
We were at New York Comic Con, and I don't know how it came up, but there was a group of prominent people in the comic space. And I mean like big names of various publishers and companies. And they were all swapping Rob stories. And they're like, and it was just like, Rob would send me letters to like F off and die. And then when I would see him at a con, it would give me a hug. Like, it's just, everyone was like, had these battle scars from Rob. And it was just, it's
awesome.
He's one of those, he's one of those guys where, you know, you think back and like if 90s comics had a face, it would be drawn by Rob.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
100%. When I think 90s comics, like when I was a kid in 90s, Rob's stuff was the stuff that stood out and the stuff I looked for. Even though I loved Jim Lee and I loved McFarlane, Rob's was the stuff I picked up everything that he did, right? And then I think, you know, he's one of those guys that deserves notoriety today. He deserves to be a legend, but he just can't get out of his own way, you know. And he just, you know, there's just that level of I don't know what it is. It's just he kind of like is his own worst enemy at times.
Well, here's what's interesting about this one though, because Wookie Fodder said it. He's kind of right. You know what I mean? With everything that's going on right now with comic distribution and what's going on with Diamond, and you know, Rob got really mad. What book was it that came out that he went into a comic shop and it wasn't on the shelf?
It was the Deadpool title.
Deadpool Team Up?
Not Deadpool Team Up. It was the one before that.
Oh, the Batter Blood?
Something like that,
yeah. Yeah, and they couldn't get it, and he got really mad, and he was like, you know, how are people supposed to read these comics if they can't get them? You know, these comics would sell out if you got them to the stores, this and that. Well, now because of everything that's going on and all the distribution issues, he knows that it's even worse, and he's basically saying that it's comic shops are too unreliable to sell his goods because they can't get the books. Now, here's the thing. Rob sometimes, like you said, he can't get out of his own way. Sometimes when he gets a little spark lit under the fire lit underneath him, and he's probably said some things that pissed off comic shops, rightfully so, where like, you know, he's comes from working in a comic shop. He's a comic shop kid. He's a comic guy.
Sure.
He knows how important the comic shops are to the industry, or should be to the industry. And, you know, he should be, you know, supporting comic shops. So, but he basically said, you know, he's been working on Whatnot now for all this time. He's sold, how many is it that he sold? The amount of stuff that he sold on his Whatnot is crazy. It's like 18,000 items that he's sold on his Whatnot. And by the way, shout out to Whatnot for pulling that off, basically stealing Rob from eBay Live, because eBay Live was, you know, not this is rumors, by the way, it's just rumors, that eBay Live wasn't getting their shit together fast enough and didn't get back to him fast enough, and Whatnot swooped right in, grabbed him and said, we'll do whatever you want. And he went over to Whatnot, and he's one of the best things on Whatnot. I mean, and he's selling shit tons of items over there. And he basically came out and said, the new Youngblood relaunch, I'm going to do all the first so many issues are going to be done through the Whatnot app and live streaming, and that's it. So I don't know. Can you really blame him for thinking that way? A little bit, but you also have to kind of say you're kind of right in that end.
There's definitely some truth to it for sure. I mean, we see this with crowdfunded. You could definitely make more money via crowdfunded if you have an audience already. You can just go direct to the customer and never produce a book that hits the shop. So he's not wrong. If he has a diehard community, why don't you just sell it to them directly? Because I mean, here's the thing with shops. Shops are, money's tight, right? They're ordering the things that they know will work, and they're ordering the things that people will know. Like, I mean, we were talking about perfect case for example is Labyrinth, this number 6, that 1 in 25 variant. It's absolutely gorgeous, right? The Raza.
Yeah.
Like, you would think we did it at F.O.C. We talked about it in the release. You would think that stores would have been like, that is a gorgeous cover. I'm going to like up my orders to try and get it. But they know that they're not going to move those other 24 copies. And it just, like, you know, doesn't make sense for them to order it. And so they just don't, even though that book is going to be hot. And now there you go. You don't, like, you can't find, there's only like 2 copies available. So it's kind of, they're just leaning into what their customers order, and the only thing you can do is tell your shops that you want this stuff. And if Rob, like the chant that Rob should be telling them is like, here's the FOC, tell your shops to order these, and have them put this on their shelf.
Yeah.
I can tell you the funny part is about,
will they listen? Probably not.
With Rob's podcast, I mean, he talks about, he speaks very quickly. So, you would think it's almost like 1.5 or 2 times. You have to check to make sure your speed is just normal because he speaks so fast.
Right.
And he talks about how he never drinks, never does drugs. And it's just like, I was like, God, you would think this is the guy who's actually done speed, or maybe needs a couple of beers to slow down. Because it feels like he's got that.
No, what he
like,
is, I bet.
He's that California guy, but he feels like he has that Jersey piece in him. He can get real fired up very quickly. Have a grudge.
Oh, he goes from 0 to 100.
Town, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
A good way to actually. Why am I blanking on his name? He's on your show every Wednesday.
BigLegg, Clutch.
Wonderworld Comics.
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis. Dennis. He actually has a great video on his channel of Did Comic Book Stores Kill Diamond, and talking about the debt that everyone has, people that owe money to Diamond, and how much Diamond owes everyone else, and how all that kind of crippled stores a lot recently. There's only so much everyone can do. There is a lot of problems out there that everyone's trying to navigate. It was interesting at Comics Pro, where we were there and we were expecting a lot of conversations around Diamond. I'm sure they were, we didn't hear any, but I'm sure there were some. But it was just interesting how it wasn't really discussed, and there wasn't some way like, hey, how are shops doing? A conversation around of moving things forward and keeping shops alive, and it is an interesting market right now of everyone's trying to figure out how to survive. And so Rob's not wrong. A lot of shops aren't going to pick those up. Like, even if Youngblood relaunches, like, how many shops are going to order big on those? Because it's a brand that really us from the 90s remember. There's definitely a market for it. And hopefully that does hit shops, because that'd be a missed opportunity to not get Youngblood back on shelves again.
Well, at some point, he put a post. So I love his Facebook group. If you guys aren't part of his Facebook group, get in on that Facebook group, because he's always posting nice little tidbits of cool Rob Liefeld stuff in there. But he made a post on here basically talking about this, where he talked about it. And one of the things he said, live streaming is the first line of distribution for these comics. And he's talking about the Youngblood 2025. He says, retailers have proven unreliable with distribution of my work. I can't allow their inconsistent practices to dictate terms of my engagement with my customers. My customers are left scrambling again and again for copies of my work. There will be launch exclusives, signed editions, foils, medals, etc. If and when I release these through the direct market, they will be with covers and printing for the direct market. So
there's some truth to that, but also Scout went to a pure live streaming market. They stopped distribution completely, and they're in real pain right now.
Yes.
As far from what I heard, and that you're not part of the comic narrative anymore. You're not talked about F.O.C. or new releases. People aren't discovering you at shops and picking up a new book, and people, the conversation is, you're only selling to the people who know about you. There's no growth ultimately. You're really just selling to the people, your diehard core fans, that's a great way to get your books out there. But the whole comic narrative, it becomes, I don't know. It's like its own little universe, and it doesn't, it's one of those things where, I noticed that crowdfunding does a little bit better because it's visible, it's sticky. You can go to it, you can sign up, you get your books. But streaming, it's like, if you're not on the stream, you have no idea that those books exist. There's no recordings often that get shared. There's no Like they just disappear.
Unless you leave your stream on for 24 hours, right?
And you come back and you see it all the time. I
Yeah,
gotta ask you guys, like, when you listen to, like, you read that and you listen to Liefeld's podcast, the one thing I love Rob. I think he's growing up with it. I think he's great. But the one thing that always strikes me is, like, if you listen to his podcast, he loves talking about, like, how great he is and how big he is, how important he is. And then you read that I.
Yes,
I'm like,
pissed off a lot of comic shops.
I'm like, it reminded me, like, I had a friend. I was like, man, I'm tired about talking about me. Matt, why don't you talk about me for a few minutes?
I mean, well, that's it. He wants the attention that he deserves, and he deserves the attention. But like we were at a con, and I mean, it's got to suck when Jim Lee and McFarlane walk into a con and there's lines wrapped around the wall, the convention for him. And I don't know if he was getting that same attention. And it's just because of, like, I don't know, the relationships that he forged or his interaction with his fans. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm sure he would say different because you're not, if he has a signing, I haven't been to one of his signings, so I'm sure they've been decent. But, there's just this matter of, he deserves to be this legendary status, but because he just always says the wrong thing.
Brings a little.
He doesn't have that filter. Yeah, I think he's pissed too many people off that have been higher brass.
The one thing on the chat, they kept mentioning, like, the Snake Eyes Deading series. Every time you talk about, like, how great everything is. And I was like, I never brought that up. I was like, I always try to pretend it never existed. I was like,
I read it too. It's not exactly the greatest. I don't know.
Try it out and see. That's fine, but don't go on and on about, like, how great. It's different. It's fine. But
and Wookiee Fodder has a good point. Like, I don't know if he's worth millions or not. I mean, who knows? Maybe he is. And maybe he doesn't need to do live stream anymore.
How much is his wife worth for the Saved by the Bell reruns? Like, she's got to be worth something. I mean,
oh yeah.
I'm sure they're doing, like, fine, right? I'm sure they're different. But here's the thing: Rob could be doing so much more. Like, that's the thing.
He has a vault of, like, all his OA and stuff like that. He could just bring out an expensive piece now with the way the market is for original art. And
part of the draw on those Whatnot channels is he does, like, a lot of sketches on Funko Pops, and he does his Liefeld chisel.
They're so expensive.
His Liefeld chisels. He does it. He does his marks. Yeah,
he's pivoting.
He's making a ton of money.
Yeah, and he's going straight to his fans, and that's the whole point of this. Like, because with all the problems and people getting comic books from the distributor these days, he's like, screw it, I'm just going to sell straight to my fans. My fans will know where to find me. I'm easy enough to find, and I'm going to sell straight to my fans, and he doesn't have to leave his house, which is smart. And any store out there that doesn't realize that is part of the new game plan in order to win, you have to be on these live selling platforms, online, eBay, one or multiples of the each. You know what I mean? If you want to have a brick and mortar store, that's great, but you're going to survive just off a brick and mortar store anymore, for the most part, for most retailers out there.
Right.
Brian, we're talking about, like, Cards HQ. Like, I know we're not big fans of the guy who runs it, Jeff Wilson, but Matt, I don't know if you know this. When we're talking about cards, he opened a card store in Atlanta, and he actually has rooms where people can break, and they can do it live streaming on YouTube and stuff like that. And I was like, genius. I was like, great idea.
Yes,
that's a great idea.
Yep. Yep. This is what Rob. So when the retailers got mad at him, this is what Rob said. He goes, "To retailers, as we have a few, I love you. I support you. I buy online and in person. I've advocated on my podcast to support the clubhouses, and as that's what I believe they are. I don't want them to disappear like record stores, all of which have closed and vanished in my area and well beyond. I'm a weirdo, and I'm prone to saying weirdo things. One of these things is that I can't continue to rely on the traditional marketplace to fully support my artistic endeavors. Expanding into the new market is part of my evolution. To retailers that say my work doesn't sell for you, I feel terrible that my work can't move. I feel bad. Hopefully in the future my work will sell again. Wishing you all the best.
I mean,
And he's fucking-
1000%. Like, I mean, that is what absolutely everyone should do. You should be diversifying yourself in this market. Like, I mean, I don't know if we said it to Mark Spears or if there was some other person, but there's all these digital artists out there. You're like, just do a preliminary sketch, right? And then put that in. Because if you have that original cover, you can sell it for $5 to $10 grand.
Speaking of that,
you're leaving money.
Yeah, we were talking to Suspiria the other day, and I wish I totally spaced on it. Me and we wanted to talk about her original art because Suspiria has the most beautiful original art, and her sketches and her original traditional artwork is so effing gorgeous. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
And you can buy it from her for pretty damn cheap. And you're right, a lot of those artists are missing out on that aspect of it if they just produce something. And a lot of these guys who do a lot of the finishing touches on digital are starting to do exactly that, Matt, because it's becoming such a part of the collecting world. So
well, like we even said about like Mark Spears, like he doesn't really have to do a cover for anyone else anymore. He can just do his own Kickstarters and just keep doing those forever and make a good living doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's the thing. Rob has found his niche, and it's a very fruitful one. And that is, he's absolutely smart to lean into it, and because I know at the beginning there was probably he probably was like not into it, right? I'm sure there was a moment where it was like this new streaming thing, and how is this going to work? I'm sure with anyone who starts doing that stuff, but it definitely proved to be valuable to him, and it's fantastic. It's a great place to show creators that there's a place that you can keep your, like, if you're not producing work into the current space, you can still exist in the aftermath, in these other capacities. I mean, you go to any convention and everyone's their sketch their commissions are already locked up way before they even hit the con floor. So all these artists are just, I don't know how well they're doing, but a lot of them seem to be doing really well. I talked to Lobos, and like this guy that buys, like, I don't know, $50,000 worth of art from him every couple months. You know, it's just
well, his art
like,
is
literally
that good. So, like, you know, I'm cool with that. You know, like
he did a Dazzler cover, and he was like, I got the gig, and I let them know. They bought it for 10 grand sight unseen. Like, didn't even do it. And
what's crazier too, his OA is getting bigger. I don't know if and so like most OA pieces are like what, 11 by 17. His are now like 4 pieces of 11 by 17, like stacked up to each other. Like, which is awesome, like, because of how much detail he puts into his work. But
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I do really appreciate what I really like. I think, Brian, we talked about this. Tula does this. She works very different from most other artists. She actually creates her pages in these little tiny rectangles or squares. She'll draw the panels and put them together like a puzzle, and then finish that page. And then whatever she has left or redoes, she puts it in a box and then sells them for like $100 a piece, like the pieces that don't make it to a page. So you get these gorgeous pieces of art. I bought one of them. You get these gorgeous pieces of art that I don't know what the resale value of that stuff is. It's probably not tremendous, but it's a very light way to get into OA, a very affordable way to get into OA. And I wish more people would do these like little tiny sketches so you can own a little piece of their work and not have to get a full commission, spend $1,500 and, whatever. If Rob said, I think Rob's done that a few times and they go for like what they go.
He does. Rob's famous for doing, there's multiple pieces of all of his major pages because he does the preliminary sketches that he does. So there's like preliminary sketches of the first appearance of Cable or the first appearance of Deadpool. I think Vinny has one of those. He has might have a preliminary sketch of the first Cable.
Doesn't Trey have the preliminary for
Deadpool?
90 New Mutants.
Yep. So, I mean,
here's one that I bought. Tula Latoy.
She's amazing.
This was a page that she didn't use from Somna, so she actually did it with her eyes open and kind of just and then moved her hands up. So she just redrew that one panel, but this was the one that she took out of it, and $100, sure.
Yeah, not too shabby, not too bad.
Her commission prices aren't that expensive either.
Everything's in the thousands. Like I didn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like her original art that she had was above 1,000.
Well, like if you get a commission from her, I don't think it's.
If you get a commission, sure. Yeah, I'm still too cheap. Like I'm really like, it's so hard. Like that's like there's books I could buy, right? But always probably the way to go. Like I always watch the OA shows that Bryan does, and I feel terrible because I feel like I made all the wrong decisions in my collecting. Collecting these guys have they're like, oh, I bought this for a couple $1,000. Now it's worth $60,000.
Speaking of that, did you guys
take a trip to Nate's house?
Yeah. Did you guys happen to see? And I'm glad we're still in drama alert. I almost ended it. Did you guys happen to see that Unknown Comics is selling off all of its OA from all the variants it did? Because the word on the street is, and we talked about this last week, they owe a ton of money to Diamond. And so they're no longer doing new books anymore on their website. And the reason why is they're saying because they have to do a remodel and it's going to take too much of their workforce. But let's be honest, the rumors that we're hearing behind the scenes are that they've been locked out of their accounts for distribution and they're just not able to get new books.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that's because of this thing that we talked about over the last couple weeks where Diamond has come out and said there's a ton of retailers that owe us something like $22 million in fee and past due money. And here is Unknown Comics. They're selling all of their OA. You can buy. Here is the Ultimate Spider-Man #2 Tyler Kirkham original art for $6,000. Let's see here. You got the all the Miko Suyan stuff. They did so much Miko Suyan stuff. This right here, this Batman Who Laughs #5 is, look at that. $5,000. It seems like a ton of money. And also comes with
I know there's a lot of unknown books that the print runs always seemed pretty high, right? I can't think of any that really escalated in value, but their cover selections were always amazing. Dude. Like every convention, you're like, oh, I got to get that, but you're like, oh, it's unknown. There's like 2,000 of them. Like there's a
right. Like if you ever go to their booth at a convention, right? It's unknowns, and they have like 20 different walls full of exclusive variants or whatever.
And you're like, oh, I could wait. Like I'll buy, but every time, like my eyes have always gone to their covers first because, they have really excellent cover selections.
Look at this G.I. Joe cover. $6,000. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, when they put them up, I'm like, let's give it time. Let's see what happens if a couple weeks, because I'm like, they're all around 5 or more. I'm like,
That's too much.
Let's see what happens.
I would never pay $9,000 for this cover, ever. I mean, Jay Anceletto's an amazing artist, but I'm not going to pay $9,000 for his cover, for one of his covers. Maybe there's somebody is out there that will do it. We'll see. I think.
What do you
probably
think
right.
that should be worth?
$3,000 max. $4,000 max.
I think you're right on.
What about a Nakayama?
Nakayama 3, because here's all the Nakayamas. The Nakayamas aren't, the OA form isn't as good.
Well, he does a lot of digital polishing.
Yeah.
So that's the thing you talk about, like put something pen to paper at least, and then fine tune it.
Yeah,
and I think that's what he does.
That's why the Miko Suyan stuff I can see. This Nakayama is really good. This one right here, this Excalibur 21 is really good. So this one I could see being like $3,000, but $8,000? No way.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Is like, look, I can go to John Royal's website or Brad Walker and get something for a third of the price.
Yep.
There's payment options, so
yeah,
you can go through your shop pay.
Yeah, that's true.
Paying for.
Yep. Yep. But the Miko Suyan stuff, I mean, like this cover right here should be $3,000, no doubt. But not $5,000. I mean, that's gorgeous. I think to me, $3,000, the $3,000 mark is for a really good cover. For an exceptional cover, like something crazy, then you get into weird territories. But for just a normally good comic cover, $3,000 is the mark for me. And for some people that's too much too. But again,
see, I'd rather spend about like $3,000 to $5,000 if it's not an exclusive, right? Where it's distributed by Marvel or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying that. Yeah.
$15,000 for all 3 of these. Or sorry, yeah, all 3 of these.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. No way. I'm gonna be interested to see. Has any sold? Can I sort by sold? No, they won't let you. Will they? Hold on.
Yeah, because they haven't.
No. They won't let you sort by sold. Let's see here.
I mean, that's interesting. I mean, that's always the last thing you sell.
They're all in. None of them is sold yet. There's 0 out of stock. So I
always figured that Spider-Man with kissing Mary Jane.
Oh yeah,
would be the first one that would go.
Yeah.
If that one's still around.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, there's a lot of great covers in this stuff. I mean,
yeah. I love like that X-Men right now, that Magneto. It looks great. $6,000.
This one's pretty good too.
But then you gotta buy it, then you gotta color it in yourself. I mean, it's like
that's why you have kids. Here you go, guys.
So much work.
Let's go to town.
Look how good that is.
It's awesome.
That looks better as the black and white than it does as the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What a beautiful cover. Jesus, that's just gorgeous. So,
but here's the thing: like, why couldn't Marvel produce covers like that for their regular books? You know,
because they don't care.
They
don't care.
Or is it the situation where they care too much and they have too much input of like, you have to put this in the cover, you have to put this, it needs to be this style of trade dress or whatever.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. I don't work for those companies.
It's a great question because the same reason you asked, like, why is JR still drawing Amazing Spider-Man? Because he's fucking pathetic. I mean, like, he's awful. He's awful. And they still have him on the most popular title.
I mean,
there's.
Oh yeah, thanks, Dad. I get it. Yeah.
I mean, they're letting Tom King do like sketch, stick figure covers and stuff like that. Like, whoever thought that was a good idea.
My final post for Drama Alert tonight. Superman movie lawsuit escalates as creator's estate makes new move in attempt to block James Gunn movie from releasing in certain countries. So the Schuster estate Siegel and Schuster is fighting Warner Brothers from distributing the movie outside of America. They have a big lawsuit that they're trying to stop, specifically UK, Ireland, Australia, and Canada. And but the crazy thing about this is, the reason that they have to fight to begin with. And I want to remind everybody what the Schuster estate initially sold, the Siegel and Schuster, what they sold the rights for Superman for. Listen to this.
If they had a really good sense of humor, they would have put Candor on there too. Just to really fuck with people.
The legal rights for Superman have been a long-running topic since the 30s, when Schuster and co-creator Jerry Siegel sold the property for only $130. And both those guys died poor, in a one-room shack of an apartment, type thing. So the Schuster estate is like going after them. And they originally went after them back in the early 2010s, I believe, around the Man of Steel time. And they basically said, you haven't made a movie in so long that if you don't make a movie by 2011, we're going to take the rights back. So it kind of forced DC to do Man of Steel, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong.
Do you remember too, like Liefeld had mentioned this on his podcast,
Yes,
just
he
like about the
did.
naming or like the credits. Like he was very big on that. Very big on that.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Superman is public domain in 2034, so
Yeah, that's crazy. That's gonna be crazy, dude.
Wow.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
I can't wait for the parody comics to come out.
Here's my thoughts on that. As soon as Superman and Batman are public domain, that will be, if it doesn't happen before then, it will be by that time. Warner Brothers will be like, okay, anybody can do Batman or Superman stuff. We're gonna license out the IPs. They're gonna do it right before then, and that way it doesn't look as bad as it would.
The good part is Steve Cohen for the Mets. He could just buy it. He can buy them.
Yeah. So that being said, let's get out of drama alert real quick. Oh, you got something, Matt?
What's interesting about that Superman? I don't know if you the film. I don't know if you've seen, but they've been doing all these exit polls for people who've seen the film,
and
they're like, I'll read one article. They're like, oh, it's terrible. It's the worst thing we've seen. Like, don't put this out. And then the next will be like, oh, they fixed it. People will love it. And then the next is like, oh no, it's still terrible. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on with this film. And there's so much misinformation out there. Like, I don't know if it's just people they don't want the film to do well. I don't get why there's all this pressure. I mean, I know why there's a lot of pressure. It will make or break the gun verse if this doesn't work. But so there is a lot riding on it.
Yeah, JR was in Daredevil Born Again on the first. The first
At least he didn't draw any of
episode.
it.
Yeah, he was one of the guys being interviewed.
Beat up. Why didn't they shoot him and Foggy at the same time?
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go. Let's take a listen from our boy Diamond Dave.
Can you hear me out there? Hey, man, don't be squirting water at me. I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend, pal.
People are like leaving here, so
Matt, thank you, brother. We're gonna go over F.O.C. and call it a night.
Hey, to answer your question in your chat earlier, the answer is always yes. If you ever have to you shouldn't have to ask. Like, just
jump on.
Just jump on. The answer is always going to be yes.
The link is in there.
I'll try to jump on more.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. And I'll hit you up. I got something I want to talk to you about here in the next couple of days, so I'll hit you up on the phone.
Yeah, sure. Nate, it was nice to meet you. I was
you
really
too, brother.
to chat with Red Hood too. That was fun.
And then I'm excited to finally meet you in person in Chicago. Then
that's right. And I don't know if they're the one thing I'm excited about. They're going to have on-site grading again for CGC. So I'm.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring books then to grade.
That's a big deal. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
but I had to travel back with a box full of slabs. All right.
just
I gotta
bring
figure this
like five with you, right? Something.
Yeah.
You know, because you'll probably find stuff there you could flip real quick, you know, and squeeze in. For me, I want to bring the stuff that's hard to, like, I only have like 3 magazines I want to get graded, but I don't want to like mail it out and then go through the separate submission and get them back. Like, those are perfect to bring for same day grading, because then I don't like, I want just this one book done, right? In fact, it's just this what is it, my Mega Man.
Oh, I wonder if I should bring a pulp, like this first pulp I bought, just to get it preserved, because I don't even have a
Are
proper
they going to do just
bag.
comics though? Or are they going to do pulps and
Oh,
everything?
that's a good question. That's actually a really good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I want to look through some comics, because I haven't graded a comic in like 2 or 3 years now at this point.
I will save up a budget to get things graded, and then I just spend it all on books, and then I budget.
See, for a while I had this pile of books that I'm like, okay, I'm sending these to Redhood to go get pressed and graded, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I just never did it, and then the pile just kept on getting bigger, and I, sometimes I'll dip into it to sell some books,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
I'll send stuff to Leg to get pressed, and he's like, I'm just going to force these through because you're never going to get them graded, and I'm just going to send it.
Yep.
So the only books I never got them graded is because Leg pushed them through.
Yeah, that's smart.
But they're usually my books that are like, I know they're not good grades. The only reason I'm sending them to get pressed to see if maybe they'll get a bump up. So like, they're always a mystery of what they'll come back as. And, it's always hit or miss.
Yeah.
But anywho.
All right, brother.
Hey James, how are you? All right.
Good. How are you?
Good.
You just missing.
Jumping off. Yep. Trains.
Are you going to C2E2, James?
No, I'm backing out, man. There's not enough talent there.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, everybody that I want to get stuff done by there is going to be at Heroes anyways. So,
yeah, Heroes is the good one.
Yeah.
So
it's we're only going because the bulk of our team is in the Chicago area. So it's like instead of
it makes it
it's
easier.
like now our hub, yeah, because we can just go literally everyone can just drive an hour or take a train, and that's easy for them. So only 3 of us actually need to fly out of like 15. So
Not
it
bad.
makes sense.
Oh, so it's harder to get everyone to like San Diego or New York.
Well, and San Diego would be a night. It's so expensive. Like everything is $600 a night for a hotel. I mean, plus, I mean, there's no con more expensive than San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so outrageously expensive. And it's so overwhelming because there's so much to do and it's so hard to get around. But I love San Diego, but it's one of those things you have to like really know what you're going to do. Because
last year I had no plans at all, and then it was just so busy. And then Bryan was telling me right before it started, he's like, before you know it, it's going to be over.
Yeah,
and that's very true.
Yeah, you can't wing San Diego. You can't just walk in and be like, oh, I'm just going to go over there. It'll take you a year to get from one booth to the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And you blink your eyes and you're flying or driving back.
Right. Right. So, but if you hang out with Leg, it's even faster because some of those names blur together.
Yep.
Oh, but it was so great being with them because they're so tall. And like being so short in the crowd, all I had to do was look up. And I'm like, oh, there's Bryan. Oh, there's BigLegg. Like, I'm not lost anymore.
Sequential Geek says, why not remove ratio books from top 10 lists, please? I mean, the system's automated. It really does pull into what's trending in the market, whether it's ratio, whether it's not ratio, whether it's a new,
This is an argument that I can't stand, Matt. I can't stand this. I see this all the time. What only variants on the hot 10 list this week? Dude, it's what is selling. It's not chosen by us.
Yeah.
It's like
and I'm such a fan of variants. So like I love variants so much. So like it will. I mean, we do plan to have some way to control the top 10. So if you wanted to eliminate variants, you could do it on your own and weed them out. And if you wanted to see only by a specific publisher, or if you only wanted to see it by a particular artist, you would basically see whatever the curated top 10 would be.
But then it's so here's the thing about that. That's great for cover price, because that's what cover price is so good about. But it's the top 10 for a reason. It's not the top 10. It's not the top 10 back issues. It's not the top 10 new issues. It's not the top 10 non-variants. It's not the top 10 variants. It's the top 10 that week that are selling. And
it's actually very hard for variants to get on there. For example, we do have a cap where because we don't think 2 or 3 books is a trend, or it's not like you really need at least 5 to 6 books to be to be a significant trend. So it needs to move significantly in both volume and a price uptick. Those are the ways that the system generates that list. The more that it sells across different grades, the more of a bump it gets, because it's just moving across everything. And that's how the system weaves it together. And there are plenty of times, like the Whatnot pack that landed on there was like, it's odd to be on the list, but it calculated it and put it on there, right? There was one time where we had a nude cover. It was that Adam Hughes nude cover, Pop Kill. That made our top 10 one year. That was the same time Disney was visiting our site to see if they wanted to advertise, and that was like a naked girl was on there. They're like, "Oh no, this is too adult for us." But there's like, yeah, it would be nice to not have all these, certain books pop up on the list, but it's literally, it is what it is, we try to not censor it. We try to not put any other stipulations other than a minimum limit, and also there's a price limit of like $11, and what that does is that it rules out $6 books that sell with shipping, so it doesn't have like a false trend. It really has to do something significantly well over ratio to make that list. And I would say most of our lists, that it's usually 75% non-variant. Most of the time it's not variant heavy. The only time it is variant heavy is really when there's no content happening and people are just buying books in the aftermarket, and it's just new stuff. Then it's like, then you see
or it's the convention weekend, or
you see like Absolute Batman and Absolute Spider-Man, and while other curated lists will take it and give one spot to those books, the system, we don't tell the system like rule out, give one spot. It will just, if all these books are trending, it just takes it over.
The theory of pump and dumping that for top 10 lists, it's I've never seen it happen.
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
I mean, the thing is, we tell people like these are sales based on last week, and so what we do is we tell you what it sold for at the height and what it's selling for currently. So we always add the caveat of what the current near minimum, and it's almost always down. So it's kind of like we purposely don't say like, hey, it's dropped, but we show you that it dropped. And the whole point of that is just to be mindful when you're going out and not buying multiple copies.
Here's the reason I say that. Here's the reason why I say that it doesn't exist. Tell me a book that's been pump and dumped and on the top 10 list in the last 5 years.
Well, we do. So we do a reflective where we go back 1, 2, 3, 4 years later, and we go back through those top 10 lists and see what they're doing now based off what those 1, 2, 3, 4 years. It's always fascinating of how they're doing. The further you go back, the books that were 4 years old tend to do better than the 1 and 2, because a little time and a little distance. Like I always say, it goes back to supply and demand. What happens with these books that are on the top 10, the reason why they're on there is because there's a high supply and a lot of turnover, and the price went up. And as the price goes up, more people buy more copies to put more copies up for sale. And what that does, the higher the supply, the demand starts to low and the price starts to drop, right? So it's pure economics. So by the time you review that top 10, usually those prices are always down for those specific books, because that's just the nature of how that ecosystem works. Now you talk about like a book that's, you know, a little rare, let's say the Labyrinth books. Those will probably hold very well a year later because there's very low supply and there's very high demand.
I can only think of one book in my mind, and there probably is a couple, but I can only think of one in the last 5 years that has been pump and dumped on either the Stein list or the cover price list, which is almost impossible to be, and it's almost impossible to be pump and dumped on the cover price list.
Yeah.
But
I can't even think of one that, I mean, we've never put a book on there,
and that's what I'm getting at. What you guys say pump and dump, you have to realize what pump and dumping is. Pump and dumping is not talking about it's pump and dumping is saying is this. The owner of CBSI has a variant that he does where he says that, where he tells all of his people to write an article about it, and then he tells the writer of the Hot 10 list is out of town that week, so he tells his writers to talk more about a certain book, and then he writes the list and makes that book the number one book. And then he says there's only 500 of them, but he's really holding on to 3,000 of them. That's pump and dumping. That has only happened once. I've never seen it happen any other time than that I can think of. There might be a couple more, but that's pump and dumping. Homage covers are not pump and dumping. Homage covers are things people like. Homage covers have been a thing. They're overplayed right now, and there's a lot of them that people don't like, but people love homage covers. It's nostalgia.
There was one time, what I do remember, where there was a pump and dump that was specifically designed as a pump and dump that did make our runner up list. It didn't make the top 10, but you know, Aaron from Josh's Comics. So he had a test for his followers to make Dark Hawk #1. Dark Hawk.
Yeah.
To make it on the top list. So it told everyone to buy as many copies of Dark Hawk as they could. And it landed like 13th.
But that's not a pump and dump. That's just telling people to buy it. Josh isn't sitting on 1,000 copies of it.
He wasn't selling them. Yeah, that's not a pump.
You have to have the dump part.
I guess market manipulation is what I was thinking.
Yes, that's a totally different thing. If you want to say market manipulation, that's a different thing. Pump and dump is totally, and I think that's what maybe Sequential Geek always talks about is market manipulation. Pump and dump and market manipulation are two different things.
Sure.
So.
And Joe has a really good point. List can perpetuate the pumping, for sure. Like I know the Mark Spears books is probably the heat that has been generated just because it keeps popping up on the list, and there's more exposure, and then it makes people buy more, and then those books pop up on the list more and more, and the prices go up for the first one. It does create a cycle in those situations, for sure. We definitely seen signs of that. We always try to tell people to be mindful of their spending, and we never tell anyone to ever buy a book. But is definitely.
I do the opposite. On long story short, I tell people to buy the book at the highest price possible. We got to make sure we're talking about every single night of the week.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting. But it's an interesting ecosystem. But I could tell, like, when we do our top 10 list, a lot of those books are already down by the time we're writing about them. Like, and we always show that drop in that near whatever that current fair market value is. And all the top 10 is just a reflection of what was happening the week prior. And it's never a list of like, here's what you should buy. It's just a reflection of like, this is what everyone did last week.
And here's the other thing. If there was pump and dumping happening specifically on the Hot 10 list, you would be idiots, because by the time it's on the Hot 10, 80% of those books, by the time it's on the Hot 10, you're not going to make the same amount of money at that moment on that book. There's very few books that by the time they're on the Hot 10, if you put yours up and dump a bunch of them, you're going to get those prices. There's very few books.
It goes back to supply and demand. It's
Yep.
the worst thing you can do is then go out and buy that book and try to sell that book because there's already too many listed. Like it is literally is what, like when we watch this list, the second they go on the top 10, I'm like, well, I can't buy one now. You know, like, because it's out. It's too late to get one. And sometimes that's fine. And I'm sure, you know, I know FOMO pops in. Everyone wants to feel part of the conversation, have part of the, you know, have one of these books that people are talking about, and you know, you know, everyone's adults and they can buy what they want to buy. But we definitely tell people, like, you know, if you missed it, wait it out, because you know, almost everything a year later has dropped. It gets interesting with a little bit of time.
Yep.
You know, it always gets like 4 or 5 years is when things start to like reveal its actual price in that market. And that's where I like to focus on. And I tell people, like, that's the one thing I will say this market does not have is patience anymore. Like when we were collecting, we would buy stuff as a speculator and be like, this will get hot 5-10 years later.
Yes,
right?
long-term
You put it away in your box. People want immediate value. And that is the problem. If you could eliminate that thought process, that immediate value, it would be a better market for sure. But it is, I don't know where that comes from. It's even with you know, the convention books, is like you want them to get immediately hot so you can, you know, flip them. And there's definitely no patience anymore of just letting books stew in your box for a good 10-15 years. But you know,
yeah,
hopefully people will get there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to, like, I just kind of go back to just buying the covers I like and the books I like. You know,
buy what you like.
Yeah, and I even thought about it. I was like, you know, I haven't bought a Marvel book in like years, but I've been buying a lot of like Image and Boom and Udon books. I've been buying, like, Udon books is like kind of some of the stuff that I've been buying up lately. And with Mega Man coming back, I'm like, I'm gonna go super diehard into that stuff. But like I kind of been into like the off the wall stuff. Like for Beneath the Trees was one of my favorite things I read, and I was buying everything for that. Just because
same with me with Grommets, right? Grommets is that book that I just totally fell in love with, and it reminds you of, and that's the other thing. A lot of people, one of the things Sequential Geek always talks about is that, you know, oh, we're just talking about you know, these pump and dumping and homage covers and CGC and this and that. We talk about stuff that we love. This is all just talking about in comics in general. Is we're just here talking about stuff we love. I never do a show that I don't enjoy talking about the stuff we're talking about. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, there's a lot of a lot of big questions. We do get a lot of messages saying, hey, can you not do variants on your list? And, you know, we do get a lot of requests for us to present different lists, and, you know, I think we'll get there where we can. I mean, it would be like, that's the thing. If we didn't do a variant list, it might be a little boring because some of these books.
Would you have the same books every week? You know what I mean? Like if you put all these filters and borders up.
Not necessarily, but you might get like a lot of books like, oh, I had a high sale of $7 and now it's selling for $6. You would get a lot of that, of like things that are like very slight bumps in the aftermarket. If you're talking about A and B covers. So that was actually, to go back to it, most of those conversations come out of our Day After Wednesday article that we do, and a lot of people are like, hey, these are variants only. We're like, because that's the only thing that's trending in the aftermarket right now. There's not much else trending, and we try to, every time there's an A or B cover, we're like, try to find an A and B cover that's doing anything in the aftermarket, and it's very tough. Like, we on a weekly basis will find one if possible. So, I mean, there is a challenge of like, there's not a lot of those A, B covers, new releases at least, that are like scorching. or doing something substantial. It's either a variant or that content-driven hot book that people just flooded back to picking up.
I mean, the one book that I can think of that did that recently, that was the open order book, was the Marvel Rivals character covers or whatever. But, like, I mean, other than that, like, I can't really think of an A or B cover that really exploded.
Yeah,
no, it's definitely rare. Definitely rare.
It's not, and it does happen. And
Yeah, it does happen.
As soon as we can, like we actually had an A cover on our list. Let's see if I can go back to it here. It was but it wasn't a Marvel or DC title.
Did you see that Dan Mora Robin cover? Why is that Dan Mora Robin cover selling for so much, Matt?
How much did you see it sell for?
$30 to $60.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to explore it. That's one thing. It's like we missed that one.
It's just a regular
but
cover.
Like we tried to have like you saw those Birds of Prey Dan Panosian covers.
Yes, yeah.
Like those are gorgeous covers, and they're not doing anything, but we're like, they're worth picking up.
Yeah.
It was, I'm blanking on the title. Oh, it was Sister Imperator #1 by Dark Horse. That's a cover A that we're like, this is one to kind of like pick up. It's based off the band Ghost.
Yes, Ghost just released a new album out this week, or had a new single release this week off their new album. So I can see
like
that.
that's an A cover to kind of pay attention to, but it wasn't doing anything at the time. I think that's the challenge. I mean, when those happen, the system will grab it and definitely throw them. We'll pick them up, but yeah, variants. I mean, they do have a place.
Yeah.
Yep,
for sure.
I mean, a lot of my favorite books of the past 15, 20 years have all been, hard to find variants. I think right now we're back to, like, you look at some of these Boom 1 in 25 books that are like, I mean, they're impossible to find.
Yeah.
So with the right artists, some of these books could be one of those legendary.
Well, you know what's also crazy, man, are all these employee thank you variants that are being sold.
Yeah.
The Scene of Grace, Something is Killing the Children. The Spawn blank cover for $285 that just sold for $1,300. That's very interesting too, which I love seeing those copies.
I wonder if I have something I can show. I wonder if I still have it here. Like all my books.
I want that Something is Killing the Children employee book.
The Scene of
Grace. I'm literally about to like start messaging people on LinkedIn.
So if you want one, if you do want one, a Boom employee reached out to me and they're like, hey, do you know anyone who might want these? And I was like, I could ask. I'm like, I'm too cheap to buy them, so I'm not gonna buy them.
I would be interested to see what the price is they're asking.
So. Well, that was my question. I'm trying to find. So I had this one. There was a Spawn thank you book that we actually got sent accidentally, and Image called and made us literally destroy it.
Really?
Cut it in half and show that it was cut in half.
Wow!
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
It was the She Spawn cover.
Yeah.
And I thought I had it right here, but I mean it breaks your heart because it was like it's a $1,300 book raw, and it's just in pieces.
That's good that they did that though. That means that they care about what they're putting
McFarlane, he's like, this was only intended for my employees. No one else should have got it. And he had Image call every single person that they sent it to and make them destroy it.
Good.
So,
good.
I mean, at least they knew exactly who had it, though, too, at the same time.
They knew exactly who had it. Yeah.
That's awesome for Todd, man.
So yeah, he's very defensive over and Skybound's the same way. They actually killed all their comps completely.
Wow.
Yeah. They killed it back in because people were getting them and selling the secret variants when they would get them, even though they wouldn't be out for like a month or two. And so they're secret covers with full reveals, and then they're revealing the secret like way before release. Or they get convention books. Like sometimes the convention books for comps will be printed at the same time as the number one, what the other copies will, but they'll hold them back for a couple months, but they release to the comps. So some people are selling these convention books months in advance, and the Skybound just
said, and then they were saying some record crazy high price of
because they're not
$5,000, $10,000.
Skybound was like, no more.
You were talking about the Panosian Birds of Prey variant. Did you see the 2 Panosian covers that are on FOC this week?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
They're on our FOC list tomorrow. So yeah.
Look at this, you guys. I'm gonna bounce whenever you got to bounce, Matt. I know you said you were gonna have to.
Yeah,
leave.
I can hear everyone's
like
disappearing right now, so I better roll. But
all right, brother. Appreciate you. I'm gonna go over FOC with everybody.
I met Danny at Comics Pro, and he was one of the few people I gushed over to. He was just, the dude is killing it right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he's on fire right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Top 4 cover artists in the game for sure.
Mm-hmm. You think about it's nice to see artists just continuously up their game. You know, you have Middleton, you have Panosian, you have Warren Liu, who are constantly just pushing themselves to do more and do better. And it's just awesome. Like, look at that. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
So good.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they're bringing back Resurrection Man. Resurrection Man was one of the best comics back in the late 90s. It had that beautiful lenticular cover. I don't know if you remember that. It was a hot book back in the day. It was a really good series, though, and this cover is gorgeous.
And then you go to another FOC book, and it's like a plain background with just someone in the foreground.
Yeah.
And then you look at Dan's work, and there's like details for days.
He has another book out too.
Look at any book on there, and it's just the detailed difference between his work and any other.
He has another book that is, look at this. This is a 1 in 25 for Doctor Strange Tales of Asgard #2.
I see. This is why I love variants, because the variant covers are usually better.
Yeah. Well, they should.
I mean, there are times when the A and B covers are better than the variants, or there's just I'm not on board with the Virgin variants that Marvel's doing anymore. I'm so frustrated by that.
DC's doing it too now.
Yeah, they just we said it in our last day of After Wednesday. We're like, I wish they would not do this.
Look at these.
What do you mean? You don't love second print 1 in 25s?
So the second print 1 in 25s are interesting. At least they do a black and white or something. I just don't like what DC did. It was that they did they have a minimal trade version and then a Virgin, and it's like almost no difference except for the little logo. And it's like 1 in 100 versus you're paying $100 versus $5. Like, what do you think you're going to choose between that minor of a difference? It's where's the incentive in the incentive? That's the problem with it.
Yeah, for sure.
The incentive is to see that Virgin variant. So 5 years later, not remember what title book it was or anything about it.
This whole variant.
I mean, I love variants too. I guess the old school person in myself that just wants a new art on a cover, on my variants. It's intended to incentivize the store to order more so that they get the special cover. Maybe that's not doing it. I don't know. So I read that. It's good.
School
I like it
with fashion. Cool serial killer.
Yeah, it's a fun read. I'm really interested to see where it's going to go. I could see it being a TV show too.
Doug Wagner's one of my favorite writers in comics.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a fun read.
Nice rolling stone homage.
I don't know. I don't want to say anything about it because I don't want to spoil too much. But she's a serial killer going to fashion school. What do you think is her fabric of choice? And I will just say that. It's good. It's good.
Ultimates #11. That almost looks like Marvel Rivals style stuff.
It looks a little bit like Chrissy Zulo, but also not Chrissy Zulo. Who is the?
I know who you're talking about. She's got a book out this week. Who you're talking about? I forget her name. There's a couple really good. This Mark Spears Justice League Atom Project is a good cover.
That's cool.
Yeah. Mark's use
That's
of color
a little,
is so good.
He's really. I like what he's doing in the background there. It definitely makes it stand out amongst his monster books. With they have those bright backgrounds with the and then the detailed foreground.
He's just a good design artist,
It's good.
So that's good. I like this Ryan Brown. Ryan Brown without the E is just, I mean, they're both good artists, but I really like Ryan Brown without the E. His art is amazing. So that's really good.
I think Teros has a lot of this stuff on his list for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna go over that here in a second. This one's really good. This Poison Ivy 32. Got all the G.I. Joe stuff for the silent. So they're doing silent G.I. Joe stuff throughout the whole month. We'll get into that. I like this. Something is Killing it. There's a lot of really good Something is Killing the Children covers. I don't know if you guys saw all those. Let me go to them.
We are also at this point where Something is Killing the Children has so many variants for such a long time that they've become a little bit of white noise.
Yes. You're totally right. Yep.
Yeah.
It happens with Venom. It's happening with Poison Ivy. You look at those every Poison Ivy cover variant is like fantastic.
Yeah.
And then no one talks about them because it's just they're all fantastic.
Have you ever heard of this artist, Anita Citria? Yeah, Anita Citria.
Yeah,
I've never heard of her.
What was one of her books that she did?
That's so
How do you spell it again?
Hey, I'm gonna look it up. Search. I'm gonna follow her. Anwita. It's Anwita is her first name. Citria. She's got great style. Her art is, but that's Something is Killing Children cover is so good. Did she do that Frankenstein cover? She did. Wow, look at that. Her art is awesome. Yeah, she did that Frankenstein cover that I like so much. The skull with the flowers. Yeah, she's a good artist.
I really like layering out with like the discovery of all these new artists, or just celebrating artists that have been around for a little while and they're getting a spotlight.
I agree. Totally.
It's always fun to like Suspiria. Like she was probably just looking for work like a year ago, and now she's like on the up and up.
Yep.
The Sickness. That's what I was thinking
of.
Sickness.
Yeah,
The Sickness.
Yeah, this book right here is gonna blow up. This is the 1 in 10. The 1 in 20 Mercado. There's
who's the publisher?
What's that?
Who is the publisher?
Boom.
Oh, sorry, for Something's Killing Children.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's a 1 in 75 Tula Lotai.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's it. They're calling me. So
all right, Matt. Good shit, brother. I'll talk to you
soon,
soon, bro.
Matt. Yeah, nice chatting.
All
See
right,
you guys.
Thanks for hanging out, bro. There's a Paul Pope variant. This one's really dope. This is a 1 per store Del Edra variant, which is really good.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for those. All right, let's go check out. Make sure you guys, if you guys want to get in any of these, Billy has really good bundles. You can pick these pre-orders, all these pre-orders up. So go to economicsandcomics.com. That's what I'm showing you. I really like this Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider cover. Feels like old school. It almost looks like Flops to me, kind of a little bit. I don't even know who it is. Who is it? It's really good. Do we know who the cover artist is for that? Let me go look here. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider.
Because they did one similar to this like
Mark Brooks.
Recently. Oh, it's Mark Brooks? Nice.
Yeah, that's Brooks. I didn't even know that. Great cover. Excellent.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah. Spawn Black, The Ritual of Nyx, 1 of 7. Jedi Knights. Okay, so for G.I. Joe, so you got all these, you got 2 G.I. Joe books. You got the Beachhead book coming out, and then they're reprinting the silent issue 21, and I think they might be reprinting 85 at some point, if I'm not mistaken. Let me find this. Here we go. So here's the Beachhead stuff. This is standalone silent issue. So they're doing 4 silent issues, and is it 4 or 5? And they have a variant that's spelled G.I. Joe. And here you go. You guys can see there's the G for Beachhead, because it's the anniversary of the silent issue. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So they're doing Beachhead, they're doing Spirit, they're doing a bunch of 4 or 5 of them, I guess. 5 of them. And then they're also doing the silent issue. They're reprinting it. Skybound is. And there's a 1 in 25 foil variant for it. So that'll be a big book. And then they're also doing a Stadium Comics variant. Check that out.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Right? That's awesome.
I like that.
Yep. There is a 1 in 10 Andy Kubert, and then a blank variant too, and then just a regular main cover for it. That's not foil.
Damn it! Now I need more blank covers.
Yeah,
of course.
All right, let's go check out our boy Lefteros. Make sure you guys are following Lefteros on IG. He does some really great F.O.C. and New Comic Book Day stuff for cover price. So here's his picks this week. He's got Absolute Green Lantern #1. You got a first appearance of the Absolute Green Lantern, Black Hand, and John Stewart. And I don't know if you guys heard, but there's a bunch of new. There was 120,000 pre-orders for the Absolute Martian Manhunter, and then there was like 400,000 pre-orders for the first Hush 2 storyline. So
Yeah.
DC really hitting the pre-orders pretty heavily, and they're introducing a ton of new Absolute titles, a shit ton. So Daredevil #20, the Meinerding variant. Hood's gonna like that one. Then you got Absolute Universe Free Comic Book Day Special Edition foil variant, first appearance and cover of a powerful and mysterious new character. I wonder who that is. There you go. There's the G.I. Joe Real American Hero Beachhead that we talked about. Hyde Street #5, first appearance of Sister Hood. Shout out to Ghost Machine fans. And then Predator vs. Spider-Man, we saw the Ryan Brown cover. This is the first appearance of Skinner, a Predator with no clan affiliation. And then this is the Spawn Black Ritual of Book of Nyx, first appearance and cover of the Puritan. It's a Glapion cover. That's interesting. Wasn't Glapion doing most of the coloring for Capullo back in the day? There's Jedi Knights #2, first full appearance of Alpha Prime and Blue Tark.
Sweet.
Yep. And then there are some crazy variants. Check this out. Some really good covers. Absolute Green Lantern. This is the Diamond UK 1 in 5. It's pretty dope. So that's Absolute Green Lantern 1 in 5. There is a foil logo design for Absolute Green Lantern. This is the 1 in 25 Martin Simmons. It's okay. And then there's a 1 in 50 and a 1 in 100 as well. 1 in 50 is not that good. 1 in 100 is just black and white. Absolute Superman #6 is coming out. Batgirl #6. I really like this Archie and Friends Level Up #1. Check this out.
That one's cool.
Right?
Oh, nice, Pac-Man.
Yeah. By the way, did you guys hear about Archie? You got Jay and Silent Bob showing up in the Archieverse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Snoochie boochies.
Yeah. So pretty cool. Next we have here's the Rian Gonzalez Birds of Prey. That's who I was thinking of when Matt was talking about that other artist. There is a
But who's she still that cover from?
I don't know. Great question. Dude, these Chamberlains #1, all the Todd Skull variants. That Todd Skull guy, I wanna reach out to him too. Get him on, interview him. He's got some great art. I like the Cruel Kingdom #4. You got the 1 in 10, which isn't a Jay Stevens, which is interesting. I like this Philip Tan Daredevil 20 cover too. It's a really good Daredevil cover. The Panosian we talked about. There's the G.I. Joe stuff. All right.
Oh, they actually had good timing with the Daredevil.
Yeah, right.
That was actually smart. Like, because that's always been a big problem, right? They're launching this show, and then customers look for those books, right?
Yeah.
But having the release and F.O.C. like that same time period, it's
and the
very
minor ding
smart.
variant. Yeah.
And then by the time, like, you know, the last episode's out, that first issue should potentially be in stores already, right?
Yep.
Or somewhere in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
There's a 1 in 50 Alex Maleev that is not that good. It's actually terrible. It's a horrible cover. I can't believe that's Alex Maleev. That is so bad. Oh my God, that's terrible.
But is it so bad that you know it's not AI?
I don't know. Shout out to Josh Blaylock. He's re-releasing Mercy Sparks #1. And from what I hear, shout out to Devil's Due for they got in with Massive Indies. So they signed up with Massive Indies to get distribution through Lunar. So shout out to Josh and Matt working together and getting Mercy Sparks into comic stores, which is very cool. Great series, great IP. There is also, okay, shout out to James Kreider. He's the only other person I hear talking about this. I think this could be a big book too, James. This is a book called Pastime, and it's basically about a vampire baseball player in the 1920s that where they started the first night games. He couldn't play baseball because it was during the day, but they started playing at night, right? It looks very interesting. It's out of Mad Cave, and there is the regular covers are pretty good. Let me show you the main cover. The main cover is really good.
Oh wow, I like that.
But there is a 1 in 10 by Sway or Raza that hasn't been announced yet. I think though I have an image of it. Let me see if I can find this. And I don't know if that's it or not, but that looks pretty dope if it is. No, that's #2. So we don't know what the Sway cover looks like. That's issue 2. That's dope right there too.
Oh, so you don't know what the Raza cover
We don't know what the Raza cover. Sorry, Raza. I keep saying Sway, right? We don't know what the Raza cover is. Yeah. There's a 1 in 10.
But I mean, honestly, can you really like? Is that a gamble on 10 issues for a good Raza cover? I don't think it's a huge gamble.
It's not a huge gamble for a Mad Cave book too. How many people are actually ordering this?
Yeah,
probably not. It's probably just as many people ordering incentives from like IDW. I would imagine it's about the same kind of numbers. So probably low print.
Here's the summary of it. It says, Henry Hayes could have been the best baseball player anybody ever saw, if only his dark affliction didn't prevent him from playing in the daylight. But when the barnstorming circuit introduces a new novelty to the game, night baseball under the bright lights, will his dreams of playing pro ball finally be realized, or will his bloody past catch up with him before he gets the chance? From the Midwest fields of the 1920s to the big city lights of today, Pastime is a small town thriller on a national scale. It sounds super cool to me.
It does sound cool.
Yeah,
So,
I like the concepts.
yeah. So and James was the other person I seen talking about it. So James Kreider's continuing his reign as one of the best content creators for comics anywhere. Make sure you guys are following his IG. He's just really, really smart, and he's got good taste.
Yes, yes, he does. And when people
let's
miss
see
on
here.
stuff, I like buying from him.
Yeah, yeah. You have 2 Poison Ivy variants. One from, I keep on saying Sway because his Poison Ivy variant this week is also, I mean, he has such great covers, but he's really off this week for some reason. But that one's pretty cool. This is the 1 in 25. This is Robin Higginbottom. Here is look at the Sway. I don't know what's off. There's something off about that to me. It's her face. There's something off about her face.
It's the shading. You know what I mean?
Shading?
Like, it's
yeah.
because it's trying to portray some sort of shadow or whatever, and so the depth perception of the face is off.
You're right. Yeah. So there's a 1 in 50 virgin of that. Pop Kill number 2. All right, I'm telling you guys right now, get ready for a super influx of every artist that draws a female that's a good female drawing artist is going to be doing variants for Pop Kill. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, we're going to see Suspiria, Sveta, you know what I mean? Like, they're all going to be doing these Pop Kill books now. I can tell you right now that's going to happen. This is issue number 2. And they're A cover by Dave Johnson, B cover by Chirillo. We're going to see so many variants for Pop Kill. It's going to be crazy. And they'll probably be good too. A lot of them.
Well, do you think we'll see a lot more exclusives after F.O.C? Because isn't that usually like how a lot of publishers tend to do?
Yes, totally. Yep. Let's see here. Storm. There's a couple good Storm variants. The Marguerite Sauvage one is good. Okay, Elias Chatzudis did this Groundhog Savior for the Stars cover. There you go. But look at this. John Royal. There you go. That's going to be a big book.
Royal really stepping it up, huh?
Yeah. There's the Chatzudis, the Royal. I'm surprised there's not a Paul Green. There's a Sun Kaminaki, which is awesome. No Paul Green, though. Ivan Tao. Mike Chrome. Ooh, there's a Mike Chrome. Let's take a look at the Mike Chrome. It's okay. It's not his best work, but it's okay. So that Royal will be a big book. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What's her name's becoming Casey
Turtle?
Jones. April is becoming Casey Jones. And
oh,
Teenage
wow.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Yeah, check this out. April.
Oh, is this the one that's written by Jason Aaron?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's what's her name? Taking on the new Casey Jones aspect.
So would you call her April Jones?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think that's about it that really kind of was crazy to me. There's a David Mack Uncanny X-Men variant, but it's okay. It's nothing crazy. So that is F.O.C. this week for the most part. I don't think I've seen anything else too crazy. I don't know if I'm missing anything. So there we go. Easy lemon squeezy F.O.C. Finally, I want to talk about something pretty cool since James is here. As a lot of people noticed in maybe it was last week that you jumped on with us, James. You had a picture behind you.
I do.
A few, but one in particular that you created yourself. Look at this.
Did.
This is pretty awesome, bro. Great job, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh shit.
Can you say what this is going to be for yet?
Yeah. So it's for good Lord. It's for I was a fashion school serial killer.
Ooh. Awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Nice. So how much for your OA?
A lot.
Yeah, you're not gonna sell that.
Dang. It's not like it's not like you sell comics or anything like that, and you know how much OA is actually worth.
I've talked to a few people about what I should charge for the OA, and the consensus is, because it's a big painting, like 10 to 15K.
Don't sell it, keep it, bro.
And that's what my wife says, but I'll tell you, you know, if Dinesh watches this later and wants to have a conversation about it, because Dinesh saw the cover and was very hyped about it. So
yeah,
I've gotten it.
Good,
I think that's been the coolest thing, is the people that have reached out, like Lobos and a bunch of these other dudes. But like, I reached out to Michelli. So when I first started painting this, I was having an issue with like the hair and stuff like that. And I reached out to Alessandro Michelli, awesome artist, really great friend. And I was like, dude, I can't do it, you know? And he goes, dude, it's painting. If you fuck it up, you just paint over it.
Yep.
You know? And like, it instantly, like, cause I spent weeks like, dude, I'm stuck. I don't know how to do this. And he was like, dude, just fucking do it. And if it looks like shit, you just do it again. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true. There's no permanence in it. So
yeah, that's why paint, it has layers and layers and layers. Yeah.
And that made it a lot better, because like everything, like the eyes I probably did 5 times, the hair I did, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times. The ears were changed a bunch. Like there's a bunch of it that just kind of went over it again and again and again. And yeah, so I'm happy about it.
Great fucking job.
Congrats.
Well, I remember many moons ago you were talking about this. You're saying, hey, I got an idea for a cover. What do you think? And I said, run with it. And funny enough, it didn't end up being the cover that you were going to run with. There's a major missing piece that I still think would be cool to figure out a way to do at some point.
Yeah.
But this is great, bro. Absolutely excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So when's it supposed to come out?
Next Thursday we'll drop it. So Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And then we're doing it's a 470 print run, because we're doing 30 of the copies. We're doing metals. We got approval from Image for metals.
We'll save one for us.
We'll have some metals done, and then yeah, I'm stoked. I already reached out to Doug. Well, Doug actually reached out to me because he saw the cover come across his table.
Really?
And he was like, dude, I saw that Hive was doing a cover, and he goes, I didn't realize it was you that did the art. And so he reached out, was super supportive about it. And so yeah, I've already lined up a signing with him. So we'll end up doing like double signed CGC options and a bunch of other stuff, which is cool. I like that I have the option to do that stuff, and it's easy.
What about doing merchandise? Is maybe shirts or anything? Is there any chance of that?
Yeah, so I've got anything with Image has to be approved through the creators. So I'd have to talk to Doug, but Doug's always been really supportive with kind of letting us do whatever. Because yeah, that was my thought too. It'd look really dope on a shirt. So I'll figure it out. We'll end up doing some really cool stuff with it though.
How many artist comps are there going to be?
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just fucking around with you.
It was automatically on there. That was cool too, to see it from the other side. When I got my F.O.C. stuff for the print run, there's 10 comp copies on my F.O.C. So I was pretty I was like, that's cool.
I was just fucking around with you, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 10 artist comps. Not 200 like some people get greedy, but no, I got 10. Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome,
stoked.
bro.
I'm starting Department of Truth here pretty soon, and then a Sict here pretty soon. So
Hell
sweet.
yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
keep going
dope.
with it.
You should.
I think if I
That's
can do a cover
excellent.
every 4 months, I'll be happy. I'd like to get to the point where I'm doing like one for like Heroes, one for New York, and one for San Diego.
Is it insider trading for being a publisher and an artist?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you just better
I'm
save a couple.
I'm gonna
for
call
us, bro.
Elon and be like, "Yo, you got to stop this guy, James."
Sequential brushes. It's all brushwork.
So, are you like Van Gogh, and do you eat paint, and how much?
I try to not eat the paint, but I'm sure I have.
Dan, here's the book you're looking for. It's called Sven the Groundhog, Savior from the Stars #1. Sven the Groundhog. Dan, that's the book you're looking for. That's awesome, James. I'm super, super proud of you, dude. That's
Thanks.
yeah, I remember you being really geeked when you had the idea in your head to do it, and you could tell that you were geeked just talking about it, and to see the final iteration and it be that good makes me proud, bro. So good job.
Yeah, it's been fun. Like, you know, I don't mind put my business out there, so I'm gonna put it out there. But I went through a really tough time. New York Comic Con, not this last year, but the year before. Had a full mental breakdown. I've dealt with PTSD and military shit for years and years and years. Big mental breakdown. Came home, went to a veterans retreat, and changed my life. Going to this retreat. But one of the things that happened after the fact was like, they talk about like, well, what's the stuff you used to enjoy before the military? And one thing, I used to paint all the time. My dad was an artist. I grew up around it. So I started slowly getting back into it. I've got a bunch of paintings all throughout the house. That was just like a lot of loose, like relearning stuff. But I couldn't see anything. Like I had no, like, this is what I want to paint. And then I did one, I haven't finished it. I finished it and then it's not finished, but it was my first like female that I painted in forever. But I did a bunch of research. I started looking into like, what's the art I like? What's the stuff I like? And then from that, it was like I just sat in front of the canvas and started working on it. And it just kind of, the stuff just started coming together. But it was so therapeutic to wake up every morning, have something like the first hour of every day is me just working on this one thing. I mean, that painting took months. It wasn't quick, you know, and that's the thing I've got to work on. But having something to like just every morning, kids to school, eat breakfast, paint for an hour, come into the office, start selling comics. It really helped me have a healthier like schedule in my day.
Oh, like a structure.
Yeah, it structured exactly. It structured my day. It started it out really well. Because I was using my brain the first hour of the day. And so like it helped a lot. So I'm getting back into it again with, you know, I've got the next 2 things I want to do and I'm going to start on them. This next week is when I start on them again. So I'm just excited. So, and I don't care if they don't become covers. This one just happened to work out really well for Doug's book. But if they don't, they don't. I'm going to have some really cool fan art then.
Amen.
You know, and I'm all about it. So
hell yeah, dude. That's dope.
Yeah. Really excited.
Great way to end the show. Where can they pick up the book from you and when?
Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can grab it from hive-comics.com or you can get them from, I partnered with my good friends over at Rabbit Comics. They will have half the print run as well. So if I sell out, head over there and grab them. They'll be offering signature series stuff as well too. We also
is that gonna be your first signature series book then?
Yeah, I've been working on my signature because my signature is shit. So I've been practicing a lot. But yeah, we'll have Doug Wagner signings available as well. And then the cool thing is the 1 in 10 ratio, the Jay Lee ratio. the book comes in a week before C2E2, and Rabbit's going to C2E2. So a bunch of those they're gonna take those, and so we've got the 1 in 10s. We're offering signature series on the 1 in 10s for Jay Lee. So that's gonna be really dope too.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, the timing of the book was perfect. That's why I was going to go to C2E2 was just for that, but I need to focus on Heroes. Heroes is gonna be such a big show. I can't focus on 2 conventions, one right after another. So
yeah, have you
need that Hive Games remark? I'm working on my remarks too. They're not great right now either, but I'm working on it.
Well, you know what you got to do? You got to come up with like 2 or 3 of them that you can do well.
Yeah,
it's one of the things that Mark said, that he figured out 2 or 3 remarks that he can do really well and quick. And I've heard that from other artists. Just work on a couple at first, and that's what you offer.
Well, you need that artist signature that you put with your artwork, like, you know what I mean? So everyone can find your covers, like something that's like quick to like, oh, this is the James
Mark Brooks.
Yeah. And then you need a signature that you actually like, where you sign with your sign.
Yeah, full scripted out signature. Yeah. My problem is my little initial thing, which is like my normal how I sign stuff. It looks really similar to James Tynion's, so like I can't really. It's close enough that it wouldn't work well. So I've been like messing with other stuff, but I can do a really nice scripted signature. That's not a problem, but I need a better.
Or maybe do something really small like JTC does, when he signs books. That way it doesn't take away from the art,
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
or you could just do JH, so like James from Hive.
I used to be decent at calligraphy, so I could always try out my signature in calligraphy. Used to look pretty cool. I haven't done that.
Well, but just think also that, okay, if you do print 400 books, you're probably going to sign at least 100 of them, like whatever's not going to tire out your hand.
Yeah,
too, as well, because that's a lot of signatures.
That's awesome, dude.
So hopefully it's a lot of signatures.
I mean, I'm just guessing. You know what I mean? Like,
well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show for tonight. 3 hours and 40 minutes. We were supposed to be a short show, and it always never works that way when I say, hey, we're just going to do something short tonight. But it was a good show, and make sure you guys cop that book from James. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to see him. And also tomorrow, I'm going to try to do an eBay live show tomorrow around probably 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern or so. So if you guys are looking for Daredevil, Star Wars, or Transformers, and G.I. Joe stuff, tomorrow will be the night on eBay live. And then I'll be back on Whatnot on Monday night. I have a couple more of the Red Hulk variant packs, the final ones to sell off, and some other goodies. So come hang out with me on the live sales. The best way to find those is to follow my IG, where I post the links to them all the time. So that being said, make sure you give these guys a follow, and everybody else that joins us on Beyond Wednesdays. Links in the description. We'll see you next time. We're out. Peace.